Now, the latest from KIRO Newsradio and MyNorthwest.com.
Well, good morning. It is Friday. It is 5:02. Glad to have you with us. We are following developing news this morning. Auburn police searching for a suspect after a 17-year-old was shot on a Metro bus last night. Officers were called around 9:30 near 29th Street Southeast and M Street Southeast, where they found the teenager with at least one gunshot wound. Police say the shooting happened while the bus was moving through the area. The victim was alert and talking with officers before being transported to Harborview. A K-9 track is underway as detectives work the scene. The investigation is still active this morning.
The King County Prosecutor's Office released surveillance video yesterday from the laundry room where Christopher Leahy allegedly killed 19-year-old Juniper Blessing on May 10th. The medical examiner says she was stabbed more than 40 times. We get the latest from KIRO News Radio's James Lynch.
Surveillance video from the Nordheim Court Apartments laundry room shows Leahy entering behind a young woman who actually holds the door for him. They both leave, and later in the video, Juniper can be seen sitting on the laundry room floor. Leahy then re-enters, looks directly at the camera, and walks out before the video ends. Prosecutors allege he unplugged the camera before the assault. That video is available if you want to see it at mynorthwest.com. James Lynch, KIRO News Radio.
Pressure is growing on Seattle city leaders to address the crime along Aurora Avenue. Community members have sent multiple requests to the mayor, police, and city council saying they are fed up. We get more from KIRO 7 TV's Ranji Sinha.
Bullets flying by homes, in one case right through the bedroom of a baby, and school children walking by bullet casings. Rui Pantoja says he's seen it all.
Then all of a sudden you got gunfire going off. You hear them screaming.
Sarah catches the bus here often. Her demands are spelled out in the letter calling out city leaders.
They need to have a lot more squad cars out here. There's shootings here like every night now.
In a blog post yesterday, Councilmember Deborah Juarez outlined steps the city's taking. Councilmember Bob Kettle said his office is actively monitoring the situation on the North Aurora corridor. Mayor Katie Wilson said SPD is developing immediate plans for more officers there on emphasis patrols. The Seattle City Council president is asking for something her predecessor calls unusual. 2 police officers stationed at every council meeting. The police department confirmed that request. Former council president Sarah Nelson tells the Jason Ranch Show on Seattle Red 770 AM the chamber already has security on site.
They're supposed to deal with disturbances. Now, they don't have the right to lay hands on any protesters or anybody who's disrupting the meeting. And so there have been officers called in the past, but it's certainly not regular.
It's not clear why Council President Joy Hollingsworth made the request. We have reached out to her office for comment. SPD says volunteer officers on overtime will provide the security, but if they're not available, on-duty officers will be pulled from the street.
As we work on some technical challenges here on KIRO News Radio, what we're going to do is head over to ABC News Radio real quick with our Brad Milkey.
By most measures, this should have been a pretty good week for President Trump.
We won everything. We won all races last night, every one of them.
He took a stand on several candidates running for congressional seats, and many of those candidates won their primaries, including Ed Galrine, running to unseat Trump critic Thomas Massie. Senate Republicans were getting ready to push through a bill to fund ICE and Border Patrol, and they were going to sidestep objections from Democrats to do this by using the tactic known as reconciliation. They even stuck in provisions like $1 billion for security in President Trump's proposed ballroom, and despite objections from the Senate rule keeper, they were still hoping to rewrite it and get everything passed. Everything was going swimmingly. But in the middle of all this, the White House put forward a new plan.
This is reimbursing people that were horribly treated.
This was a plan to establish a $1.8 billion fund compensating so-called victims of government weaponization. Democrats called it a slush fund to pay off Trump loyalists, but several Republicans shied away from defending it too. If anything, the backlash has grown throughout the week, to the point where yesterday, these anxious congressional Republicans announced they are leaving town rather than push through that controversial budget bill. And before they did, they left some choice words for the White House. Let's start the day with ABC's Ali Pecorin, who's covering all the drama in the Senate. Ali, what is happening here?
Yeah, nothing like a very dramatic day in the Senate to get us nerds excited up there. We had a very, very dramatic day on Capitol Hill yesterday. So as you mentioned, Republicans were starting their day confident that they were going to move forward with this very arduous voting process of of passing this $70 billion immigration enforcement bill. It's a big win for President Trump, that bill. It's something that he's been asking for. He wants that bill on his desk by June 1st. That is not going to happen now. And that is due to a sort of rebellion that occurred in the Senate Republican conference on Thursday morning. So here's what happened. We had acting Attorney General Todd Blanche come up to Capitol Hill to sort of do a bit of a cleanup for Senate Republicans who were pretty publicly out there lambasting this IRS weaponization fund. And that is what this whole debate is really all about.
Oh, so there's the stuff about the ballroom or whatever, and some Republicans were kind of squishy on that. Like, I don't know if it's a good look, but whatever. We'll see if we can get it in. You're saying that's not the issue. It's the $1.8 billion government weaponization fund. That's the thing that everyone's nervous about.
Yes, that's the key focus here. One of the issues that pretty immediately emerged on Capitol Hill as that fund came into focus was the fact that some of this money could, in theory, go to January 6th rioters who stormed the Capitol.
That was ABC News Radio with their Start Here program. It's now 5:08.
Technical difficulties solved.
This is CBS News on the Hour, your home for original reporting.
I'm Deborah Rodriguez. We begin with pushback on Capitol Hill over potential taxpayer-funded payouts to President Trump's allies, who claim they were wronged by the Biden administration. Correspondent Ed O'Keefe is at the White House.
The nearly $1.8 billion fund created by the Justice Department to compensate people who say they were targeted by government actions is drawing intense pushback from Democrats.
This administration is acting as if the American people are their ATM.
And now a growing number of Republicans, like North Carolina Senator Tom Tillis, who calls the fund, quote, a payout pot for punks.
Racing fans were stunned to learn NASCAR legend Kyle Busch had died at the age of 41. His family says he'd been in the hospital hours before for what it called a severe illness. They're not specifying the cause of death. Busch's former teammate Jimmy Johnson tells CBS Mornings.
A great personality behind the wheel. His nickname was Rowdy. A fierce competitor, but then at the same time, helmet comes off with his family. Just, a dad, a husband.
Busch leaves behind a wife and 2 children. He was set to race in the Coca-Cola 600 in Charlotte Sunday, but dropped out yesterday morning. A lot of Americans are staying put for the Memorial Day weekend because of wartime gas prices and inflation. Darshell Purifoy spending a bundle to drive from Orlando to Mobile.
They need to figure it out so that we can get back to living and not making the hard choices of whether we're going to travel. Are we going to eat out? Are we going to stay home?
The average price for a gallon of regular today, $4.55. This time last year, it was $3.20. It's a wrap for CBS's Late Night Talker. Correspondent Jared Hill has the story from New York.
This show, I want you to know and you to know, has been a joy for us to do for you.
And with that, Stephen Colbert closed out an 11-year run as host of CBS's The Late Show. In July of 2025, CBS parent company Paramount announced Colbert's cancellation, calling it a purely financial decision against a challenging backdrop in late night. It is not related in any way to the show's performance, content, or other matters happening at Paramount.
Legal problems piling up for a former prince. CBS's Vicky Barker has details from London.
A British police force has officially expanded its investigation into Andrew Mountbatten Windsor to include possible sexual misconduct allegations. It's asking witnesses to contact them if they believe they have information about alleged sexual or professional misconduct involving the king's disgraced younger brother.
Police there already investigating his ties to the late Jeffrey Epstein. Dow futures are up 176. This is CBS News.
Go to the ends of the earth, half a world away. Reach for the stars.
If I take time to think, they might go get Brad.
On CBS, Sunday morning.
You know that Big Bargain detergent jug is 80% water, right? It doesn't clean as well.
80% water? I thought I was getting a better deal because it's so big.
If you want a better clean, Tide Pods are only 12% water. The rest is pure, concentrated cleaning ingredients.
Oh, let me make an announcement.
Attention shoppers, if you want a real deal, try Tide Pods.
Stop paying for watered-down detergents. Pay for clean. If it's got to be clean, it's got to be Tide Pods. Water content based on the leading bargain liquid detergent.
Ready or not, summer is coming, and Wayfair's Memorial Day clearance is on now. Right now through May 25th, get up to 70% off everything home at Wayfair. Plus, score amazing doorbuster deals all sale long and surprise flash deals on Memorial Day. We're talking thousands of products at every style and budget. Now is the time to save big on must-haves for your patio, backyard, and beyond. These savings won't last, so don't wait. Shop Wayfair's Memorial Day clearance now through May 25th.
Wayfair, every style, every home.
Sloth lovers in Sanford, Florida, stepping up to help after dozens of animals died at a nearby attraction.
Sloth World in Orlando was set to open this spring, but filed for bankruptcy and shut down after more than 50 sloths died under its care. Sanford's Whiskey Works has been selling gift kits and T-shirts to help raise money to help Central Florida Zoo pay for their care.
It's a little kit where you can make a cute little sloth that comes with the paint and the yarn.
How much have they raised?
Somewhere between $50,000 and $60,000.
Right now, the surviving sloths are in stable condition, but the zoo is keeping them in quarantine and monitoring their health. Allison Keyes, CBS News.
They're trying out some Terminator-style tech gear in San Francisco.
I'll be back.
The company Hypershell hoping athletes will be back again and again to purchase its wearable robotic systems that use AI software and motorized hip supports to give an assist as they chase a superhuman edge. Deborah Rodriguez, CBS News.
Just ahead of our traffic, hundreds of thousands of people are expected to take ferry trips for Memorial Day weekend. One helpful reminder, make sure you know where the ferry line is if you're driving.
Especially because in this day and age, a lot of people use GPS to get to their destinations. And it's going to take you on the route of least resistance when it comes to traffic. And that means it's going to try to take you around a ferry line.
Justin Fujioka with the State Transportation Department says some routes won't let you on if you don't wait in the right line. If you don't want to wait as much, try going early or late or walking on if you can. 5:13, let's find out what's happening on the roads now. Time for a check on traffic. Chris Sullivan is here.
And don't forget, there's that new ticketing system on the Kingston side of things coming back this direction. If you don't wait in line and get a ticket and you show up at the toll booth without a ticket, you're going to have to go to the back of the line.
Good reminder.
And also, don't be surprised you're going to have a bunch of dogs on the ferries this weekend. So just be prepared. It could be kind of an interesting weekend on the ferries. On the roads right now, we're in very good shape. No issues to talk about. We've got all green on the map and 35-minute trips just about everywhere. That's all you're going to need from about Federal Way to Seattle, Puyallup to Renton, Everett to Seattle, Everett to Bellevue, all right around 35 minutes. Lake bridges are still very good. Olympia to Tacoma, no problems for you guys. 16 and 18 also off to a very good start. So here we go on a Friday, getaway day. We're all in all, we're in a good spot. KIRO Newsradio Real-Time Traffic. I'm Chris Sullivan.
Oh, yeah, it is Friday. Happy Friday to you.
I didn't misspeak, did I? It is Friday, right?
It is Friday.
Okay.
I need a reminder once in a while. It's going to be a beautiful day, mostly sunny, 77, so a little bit warmer than we had anticipated. For tomorrow, look for clouds early on, sunshine in the afternoon. That'll keep us a bit cooler, 73. Increasing clouds on Sunday, and we are still looking for some rain to roll in on Monday, Memorial Day. A little bit breezy, too, and a high of only 59. Right now in Seattle, it's 55 degrees. Coming up, in case you missed it, a new fish passage project is going to shut down Highway 3 in Gorst for the next couple of weeks. The detour is long, and Sully has a choke point next here on Seattle's Morning News.
Your best source for local news, serving Western Washington and the world with the KIRO Newsradio App. Always streaming live on your smart speakers. You're listening to KIRO Newsradio, Northwest News.
This hour of Seattle's Morning News is brought to you by Closets by Design Seattle.
If you're over 62 and feel squeezed by rising monthly bills, listen carefully. I'm Steve Teitler, owner of Best Mortgage. Every week I talk with seniors who love their home, want to stay in it, but feel more financial pressure every month. Property taxes are adding up. Insurance is up. Everyday bills are up, and for some, they still have a mortgage payment on top of all of that. Are you worried about outliving your savings? A reverse mortgage could help by eliminating your mortgage payment, paying off debt, and giving you breathing room every month. Now, let me be clear, it's not right for everyone. But for the right person, it can be a powerful tool. When you call Best Mortgage for a free consultation, you'll talk directly with me. I'll explain your options and tell you honestly if it makes sense for your situation. If you're 62 or older and want straight answers about staying in your home with less financial stress, call me today, 425-649-6000. Best Mortgage. Honest advice you can trust. 425-649-6000.
Healthcare costs are rising.
and a major driver is hospital prices. They've increased more than 250% over the past 25 years. Families and local businesses are feeling it. At Primera Blue Cross, we're working to change that by negotiating with hospitals to secure fair, responsible prices so you can get the care you need at a cost you can afford. That's coverage that counts. Learn more at coveragethatcounts.primera.com.
If you have unfiled taxes or are in debt to the IRS, this is important news. Did you know the IRS has programs specifically designed to help people struggling with tax debt? Powerful tax assistance programs that can save you thousands if you qualify. No one knows these programs better than the experts at Optima Tax Relief, America's most trusted tax resolution firm, A-rated by the Better Business Bureau. Their award-winning tax attorneys and licensed professionals have resolved over $3 billion of tax debt for their clients. One call to Optima can start the process, helping to put an end to your worries about wage garnishment, asset seizure, and other aggressive IRS actions. Find the best options to solve your tax problems. Call the experts at Optima Tax Relief today for a free consultation.
Call 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460.
Optima Tax Relief.
Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
Let's be honest. The National Symphony may not be in his future, but he wanted to try violin. So you said yes because you love him. And if you love him that much, love him enough to make sure he's buckled up and in the back seat. Find out more about keeping your kids safe in your vehicle at nhtsa.gov/the-right-seat. Show him you love him. Keep him safe. Visit nhtsa.gov/the-right-seat. Brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
Charlie Harger and Manda Factor, Seattle's morning news.
Hey, oh, let's go.
Now, Choke Points with Chris Sullivan.
Presented by Carter Subaru.
Let's go.
6:48 now. Truck drivers will face a 28-mile detour as a fish passage project shuts down Highway 3 south of Gorst for 2 weeks.
That doesn't sound fun. Sully is here to tell us all about it.
Now, I know this is a little out there for, a lot of our community. In fact, yesterday, Charlie, when I asked you, what do you describe this place on the map? And you really couldn't. Because it's kind of that whole unincorporated area there that goes down toward the Key Peninsula. But it's basically the cut through for Bremerton through Gorst down to Belfair, and then maybe if you wanted to continue all the way down through Shelton. So it's used pretty heavily, but it's just, it's just out there a little bit. And the reason that why we're focusing on this is because SR3 is going to be closed for 16 straight days, starting on coming up later on the 13th of June. And so that's coming up pretty quickly because they're replacing the fish culvert at Gorst Creek. Drivers on southbound SR3, that is, will be detoured to Sunny Slope Road. So this is just kind of right around Sunny Slope, if you know the area at all. Northbound SR3 will be detoured to Southwest Lake Flora Road. That is a 7-mile detour for just drivers. And I have a map up at mynorthwest.com to get a better handle on exactly what we're dealing with. The Washington Department of Transportation's Angela Cochran says local access, though, will still be available.
They're going to dig out the highway, so that entire section of highway will be removed, so nobody can get through there. But you can get up to the closure point to get to businesses.
But truck drivers will face, as you mentioned, a 28-mile backup to get around this closure. WashDOT's Cochran says it's really best to keep those big rigs on the bigger roads in the region.
The truck route is through State Route 302 and State Route 16. It is a long detour, but it is the best detour for the truck.
And even if you're not a truck, drivers in general should expect delays around that entire area, which again is just north of the Key Peninsula.
People who use those routes will want to plan some extra time just to make sure, during busy travel times that they can get to their destination on time.
The contractor had to wait until this time of year to fix the culvert. It's not something they could do earlier in the year because Gorst Creek actually runs dry over the summer. So now is the best time to actually get in there and install it without actually impacting the fish migration. The project, though, does have some weather-dependent components which could impact the timeline.
Construction is very complex. Schedules can change. And so if something crazy happens with the weather, that is going to be something that could affect the schedule. We do have to have dry conditions for this work.
Again, the closure is set to begin at 7 a.m. Saturday, June 13th, and last through 7 a.m. Monday, June 29th. So basically the whole second half of next month. So I know we're a little ahead of schedule, telling you about it, but I don't want you to get caught off guard. Or if you're a truck driver that has some deliveries down there, or a contractor building a house down or doing something down there, big time detours coming up next month.
28 miles. That's something for truckers.
If you look at the map there, they're sending them all the way down to the south end to get them onto 302, go all the way up through the Purdy Spit and all the way up to 16 and around to get back up to the Sinclair Inlet and Gorst.
It's a good reminder, too, that you can always send in your request for Sully for choke points at the Muckleshoot Casino Resort text line, 888-973-5476. We had somebody just reach out wanting you to check in stuff in North Seattle just now, 130th and 145th. This is something that choke points is meant to do.
Well, this is really what choke points was designed to do. When I first took over the transportation department from being a general assignment reporter, was it 10 or so years ago, basically, when I realized that our traffic was impacted by the decisions of the Coast Guard, I realized we got problems. We got things.
Yeah.
So I'm here. Whether you have a question about why whether you want to install a stoplight in your neighborhood or you think people are speeding too fast. I once had a guy up in the Everett area in the Lowell neighborhood said he was hoping to get one of those radar guns from the police so he could go out there and track them and let them know we need to slow the speed down here. And lo and behold, we did a story on that. We got a lower speed on that street that people were screaming through. So, yeah, it doesn't have to be as big as Sound Transit wasting money or the state budget or why they're building a pedestrian bridge over 405 in Bellevue. It can be something really simple or rules of the road. I'm here to answer every question that you guys have as it relates to transportation in any way.
You know why? Because you are our conduit.
Yes, I am, and I'm glad to do it.
You always get answers. Everyone appreciates
I
you.
do. And that's the thing. There's nothing more personal to each and every one of us than our drive.
Yeah.
That's why in some cases we drive so selfishly. So I'm here to help, and I'll take any question, big or small. There's no dumb question, insignificant question. I'll try to find the answer for you.
By the way, we have a shortcut to your My Northwest archive, right? You just go to chokepoints.com.
I think that still exists. If not, it's mynorthwest.com/chokepoints.
Yeah.
/chokepoints. If anybody still talks like that anymore. With www, by the way, on the front. HTTPS, because we're a secure network.
Yeah, boy.
//www. Yeah, it's still a thing. Right?
Chokepoints.com does work. I just tested it.
Awesome.
It's 5:24. Our forecast as you head into the holiday weekend, it's going to be gorgeous today. Sunny and warm, 77 the expected high. Tomorrow, look for some clouds in the morning. That'll keep us cooler, 73 tomorrow, but sunshine by afternoon. Sunday, look for building clouds. Will be partly cloudy for the bulk of the day and a high of 70. Monday still looks pretty active weather-wise. Rainy, breezy, and a high of only 59. Right now, it's 55 in Seattle, and coming up, it's the beginning of the end of an era. We're going to hear about the final summer of Wild Waves coming up here on Seattle's Morning News.
Honoring the ones who made the ultimate sacrifice. This Memorial Day weekend, while celebrating with friends and loved ones, take a few moments to remember and reflect that we remain the home of the free because of the brave. Reverently celebrating Memorial Day with you, we are KIRO Newsradio, 97.3 FM.
This is a special alert to all Americans who own a vehicle with less than 200,000 miles with an auto warranty about to expire or with no warranty coverage at all. Due to a decline in the economy, CarShield is announcing a low-cost month-to-month vehicle protection plan that is now available to the public to save any driver out-of-pocket expenses on future auto repairs. Call now to find out how you can pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. Yes, you heard that correctly. Pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. An open phone line has been established for all drivers to call for a free quick quote. Call 800-478-6430 now. Drivers who are covered will not have to pay for covered repairs again. This protection plan is at an all-time low. Additionally, drivers who activate this vehicle protection today will also receive free roadside assistance, free towing, and car rental options at no additional cost. Call us for your free quick quote today. 800-478-6430. That's 800-478-6430. What do you have to lose? Call 800-478-6430. Again, 800-478-6430. 6430.
This is Lynn. She's always been active, maybe a little too active back in the day.
When I was 19 years old and immortal, I stripped out all my ligament and I had to have 6 knee surgeries, and that's on my right knee. And then my left knee finally gave out and had a torn meniscus.
Years of pain followed until she saw Dr. Mark Wagner at Seattle Sports and Regenerative Medicine for stem cell therapy.
I'm 4 months out and I have no pain in my knees, and I have had knee pain my whole life. I have no concept of what it was like without pain. It's a miracle. I'm totally thrilled.
No pain, no limits.
Dr. Wagner gave me the green light to ski again this year. I'm like, that's incredible. So I'm just so excited.
After years of surgeries and setbacks, Lynn finally got her freedom back.
I think he saved my legs, so saved my knees, and gave me at least another 10, 15 years to do what I wanted to.
If joint pain is holding you back, find out what stem cell therapy could do for you with Dr. Mark Wagner, MD at Seattle Sports and Regenerative Medicine. Schedule your consultation at drmarkwagnermd.com.
Do you have 3 ex-wives and your current trophy wife wants a life insurance policy 3 times the size of the policies you had to purchase for your previous mistakes? If so, you need to call Big Lou at Term Provider, 800-444-9336. Big Lou is intimately familiar with your problems, and if you're 50 or 60 years old and in reasonably good health, a $1 million policy should only cost about $100 to $200 per month. Big Lou may have a solution for your previous policies as well. You may even save enough money to lighten the load on your new $1 million policy. Remember, call Big Lou. He's like you, except he's only on number 2. Call Term Provider at 800-444-9336. That's 800-444-9336. For $1 million in term life insurance that you can live with, call Big Lou at 800-444-9336.
From whiplash to herniated discs, there are a few car accident injuries we've all heard of. J.P. Pendergast with Pendergast Law explains that even the most common injuries differ from one another.
Pre-existing conditions, health history, beginning of treatment. There are hundreds of factors that make every person and every injury unique. While these variables aid medical treatment, the strongest case recoveries must also take them into account.
Could you explain a little bit more?
Our team at Pendergast Law is obsessed with turning over every stone to differentiate each case. This requires thorough investigation, diligent listening, and relentless research. We never pursue cases with a one-size-fits-all approach. We built our success by treating every injury and every case with the individualized attention our clients need and deserve.
Pendergast Law's individualized approach to even the most common injuries makes the difference in case outcomes. It's another reason why I can't recommend them enough.
If you or a loved one has been injured in a car accident, call Pendergast Law. We can help.
John Curley here. You know a smart thing to do right now? Upgrade your cooling now with Home Comfort Alliance. Choose a Lennox cooling system and get a heating system free. Their 60-second online price estimator makes it so easy. Visit HomeComfortAlliance.com today.
It's Staples' 40th anniversary, and they've got deals worth celebrating. Now through May 23rd, enjoy up to 50% off. Save on paper, chairs, custom print, balloons, and more. Staples, that was easy.
And here's Heather with the weather.
Well, it's beautiful out there, sunny and 75, almost a little chilly in the shade. Now, let's get a read on the inside of your car. It is hot. You've only been parked a short time and it's already 99 degrees in there. Let's not leave children in the back seat while running errands. It only takes a few minutes for their body temperatures to rise, and that could be fatal.
Cars get hot, fast, and can be deadly. Never leave a child in a car. A message from NHTSA and the Ad Council.
KIRO Newsradio 97.3 FM Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO Newsradio and mynorthwest.com.
Good morning. It is 5:30. I'm Manda Factor. We are following developing news out of Auburn, where a 17-year-old boy was shot on a Metro bus last night. Officers responded about 9:30 near 29th Street Southeast and M Street Southeast and found the teen wounded but conscious. He did speak with officers before he was taken to Harborview. Auburn police tell KIRO 7 TV.
We believe that there's at least one suspect involved in this. We also do not think this was a random attack. We do believe that the people involved knew each other. So we don't necessarily think there's a threat to the community.
The investigation remains active. An explosive investigation in Longview has led to the arrest of the district superintendent. More from KIRO Newsradio's Jillian Raftery.
This all stems from a rape investigation at Mark Morris High School that rocked the community this midwinter. Basketball players forcing younger teammates into a windowless locker room and assaulting them. Police say they heard about it on social media and then contacted the district, but Superintendent Karen Cloninger told them it had already been handled. Ultimately, a parent made a report. 2 teens were arrested and charged. Police say Cloninger not only knew about what happened, but told staff not to talk to police. She's accused of witness tampering, failure to report, and obstructing a law enforcement officer. Police say at least one more school administrator is expected to be arrested. Jillian Raftery for KIRO News Radio.
It's unclear if charges have been filed, but KIRO News Radio is naming the superintendent because of her prominent role in the community. New details about a child abduction out of Shelton Wednesday. We get the update from KIRO 7 TV's Elle Thomas.
Shelton police say the child, corrected to be 3 years old, was taken by his dad during a custody visit. Deputies saw a car, tried to pull him over, but say he sped off. They say they didn't chase him out of fear of hurting that toddler. Authorities sent out the Amber Alert right around that time, and around 4 o'clock, a homeowner on Binns Swigger Loop Road found the two and, quote, secured the child as the father ran off. A group of law enforcement, including deputies in a helicopter, found that father and arrested him.
Part of the Wonderland Trail at Mount Rainier is closed right now because of what the park calls unusual bear activity. The park posted on Facebook the stretch between Narada Falls Trail and Stevens Canyon Road is temporarily shut down. If you're hiking in the area and run into a black bear, the park says stay calm, back away slowly, do not run. And if a bear approaches you, stand your ground, make yourself look big, and make a lot of noise. Tumwater police are warning people to stay out of the old brewery property. There's apparently a trend on social media right now encouraging people to explore those old buildings. Police say on their Facebook page that going on that property is trespassing and you could be arrested. They also say the old structures just aren't safe, with unstable buildings and other hazards that make it dangerous. Police say they get the appeal of exploring forgotten places, but it's not worth the legal trouble or the risk. And one of the biggest apartment projects Seattle has seen in years just hit a major milestone. The Puget Sound Business Journal reports vertical construction is now underway on a 796-unit development right next to U Village. The $400 million project on Northeast 45th broke ground last August. When it's finished, 3 connected buildings will rise 7 to 8 stories with 25,000 square feet of retail space below. It's 5:33. Time for a check on the Friday drive. It's a getaway day for a lot of people, Sully.
So far, so good, Amanda. We're doing really well. No issues across the board. Just some slight hesitation on northbound 167 as you're trying to tie into 405 northbound there right in Renton. Primarily just there through that off-ramp and the ramp meter. And then you have a pretty good drive the rest of the way. So it's only 35 minutes from Puyallup up to Renton, and Renton to Bellevue is under 15. The Federal Way to Seattle drive, only 35 minutes. We don't even have any action on northbound I-5 as you work your way from Olympia to Tacoma. So that's great. Lake bridges are super quiet. Coming down from the north end, we've got 35 minutes as well from Everett to Seattle or Everett to Bellevue. So we're off to a pretty good start. Let's see if we can keep this going. KIRO News Radio Real-Time Traffic. I'm Chris Sullivan.
It's going to be a beautiful way to wrap up the weekend, head into the weekend. Mostly sunny, 77 for today. Tomorrow, you'll likely see some clouds in the morning and a high of 73. We will see sunshine in the afternoon. Clouds are going to increase. We'll call it partly cloudy for Sunday and 70, but Monday is still looking pretty wet and breezy. We'll see rain at times and a high of only 59. Right now in Seattle, it's partly cloudy at 55.
Your best source for local news, serving Western Washington and the world with a KIRO Newsradio app. Always streaming live on your smart speakers. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
Well, it's a summer tradition around the Seattle area, and it has been for decades. And this summer, that tradition is coming to an end.
You know, having grown up in Olympia, I'm having a hard time wrapping my head around the fact there will be no wild waves. It's been a landmark for everybody for so long. Sully uses it as a traffic landmark too, right? So on with us right now is Weston Petrie, Director of Sales and Marketing of Wild Waves. This is the final year. What are you thinking?
Oh, God, it's mixed emotions this year for all of us.
I bet.
It's exciting, and it's also a bummer. We open up this Saturday at 11 a.m. We run through Memorial Day weekend, and our season concludes in November with Fright Fest. So we're going to have a full and vibrant season, and we're all very excited, but a lot of mixed emotions.
I have teenagers. This is the place they love to go. My youngest, he's 13. He's getting a season pass with his buddies. Can you just talk about how important Wild Waves has been to families around here for such a long time?
Oh, man. I mean, it goes back all the way to 1977 when Byron and May Betts, they started in Enchanted Village. And then they had the Wild Waves expansion in 1984. But it's been a Pacific Northwest staple for forever. I mean, we're going on 50 seasons here. This is our 50th season, so we're celebrating. It's all wrapping up, but it's been a staple in the community forever.
Do you have special events going on throughout the season?
Oh, of course. We have something for everyone. We've got dive-in movies for kids every Thursday, July through August. We have foam parties for kids in July. And then we have foam parties for adults. Our adult nights are live and active. Please check our website for more information. But they're 21 over parties after hours. But we have a lot of fun. And then in August, let's see the dates here. Festival de Olis Locust, the 22nd through the 23rd. Actually, we may change that. It might be the 15th. I'll have to get back to you on that. But it's going to be a really vibrant Hispanic festival that we're throwing in. And so we've got something for everyone this season.
What went into the decision to call it a day?
There was rising operational costs. I wasn't part of it, so I can't really speak further on it. But since, the closing during COVID, we've sustained, millions of dollars in losses, and that contributed to the factor, plus all the rising operational costs.
What would you want to say to all the families who have come to visit year and year and year after year?
Well, come catch the wave one more time. We're still here. We've got a sale on season passes at $75.99. They come with 3 free Friends tickets, free parking, in-park discounts, and more. Come relive the memories and make new ones while we're still here.
So when we look at what's happening there, do you have any idea what happens? That is such a major landmark.
Yeah.
What happens with that big plot of land along the side of I-5?
I have no idea. I'm not involved in decision-making on that, but I would love to know as well.
Well, it is such a pleasure to talk to you. We're really excited about whatever we can look forward to this summer, and I just want to wish you and the families there, the employees who have been there season after season, the very best with whatever is next.
I think Fright Fest.
Thank you.
Fright Fest is a great way to wrap it up because that's one of my favorite events, and my daughter loves it.
It's a great event. The haunted houses are amazing.
Yeah.
They're really impressive, and they're scary. So come and enjoy.
Weston Petrie, thank you so much. Have a wonderful season at Wild Waves. We'll miss you.
Yep. See you guys.
Still hard for me to believe that this is their last season. Well, SpaceX filed to go public yesterday, and its Redmond satellite factory is a big part of the story. The Puget Sound Business Journal reports the company's IPO could raise $80 billion or more. That would make it the biggest in history. SpaceX builds its Starlink satellites in Redmond, cranking out about 70 a week. Starlink brought in more than $11 billion in revenue last year, making it the company's biggest moneymaker. SpaceX will trade on the NASDAQ under the ticker SPCX. And Alaska Airlines has launched its first nonstop flight from Seattle to London. The flight to Heathrow left SeaTac last night, kicking off daily year-round service on a Boeing 787 Dreamliner. It's Alaska's second European route after it launched nonstop flights to Rome in April. The Seattle Times notes it's part of a broader push to make Alaska an international airline. It already flies to Tokyo, Seoul, and starting next week, Reykjavik, Iceland. It's 5:39. National headlines on the way next here on KIRO Newsradio.
KIRO Newsradio, where you turn for the news you depend on.
KIRO Newsradio's Luke Ducey is here with more.
24% of businesses are now thinking about leaving Washington.
Traffic.
We are definitely seeing some slowing through the S-curves.
Conversation.
We build it, we produce it, we charge for it.
And your Super Bowl champion Seahawks.
A one-hander! Are you kidding me?
Broadcasting live from the KIRO Newsradio YouTube channel. KIRO Newsradio 97.3 FM.
It started as a puddle.
Where?
In the shower.
Uh-oh.
Then the kitchen sink.
Started backing up?
Yeah.
I know where this is going.
Clogged up.
Right. No problem.
Beg your pardon?
There's no clog we can't clear.
You're Dan.
From Apollo Plumbing.
This is going to get pricey.
How about $83?
To clear my drain?
Apollo Plumbing clears main drains every day.
For $83?
$83 or it's free.
What's the catch?
No catch. We'll even do a camera inspection.
Why's that? that?
It's the best way to find the cause of your clog.
And it's included?
No extra charge. Truth is, we hate clogs.
I don't love them.
Seen them all.
Ew.
I promise, there's no clog Apollo can't clear.
Guaranteed.
83 or free.
Goodbye, slow drains.
All it takes is an accessible clean out.
And Apollo gets my drains draining again.
You call, we come, it's fixed.
My heroes.
Just doing our job.
Thank you, Apollo Plumbing.
ApolloPlumbing.com.
I'm sure by now you've heard interviews with a whole lot of people who took the First Mark Challenge and saved so much money on their insurance and got better coverage. We call them First Mark victories. Well, I too took the First Mark Challenge and am thrilled to say that First Mark is saving my family thousands. Now that's what I call a victory. Before we got married, my husband had been with the same agent for so long. I think we just assumed that they were working hard to get us the best coverage and save us money, but it wasn't the case. And we only knew that by taking the First Mark Challenge. First Mark works for you, not the insurance carriers. First Mark will fully analyze your current coverage, making sure you're not overpaying for the wrong coverage, which could leave you at risk for financial loss. Then they carefully search the market, dozens of major carriers to find you the best fit. And that's it. First Mark Insurance has helped thousands of families successfully manage the complicated world of insurance and save them thousands, my family included. Be the next First Mark Challenge victory. Take the First Mark Challenge now. It's free. Go to firstmarkinsurance.com. First Mark Insurance. They work for you.
Eric Johnson here. I spent the past 30 years working to help make our community better informed, better protected when it comes to consumer issues, and better equipped to take on whatever life throws at us. That's why I love the free Washington Accident book series from Davis Law Group. These books keep us better informed about the law, better able to protect ourselves on and off the road, and better off when all is said and done after an accident. Chris Davis didn't have to write these books. He did it because he saw a need. People who were in accidents or other legal situations didn't know what to do, what pictures to take, documents to request. Only a tiny fraction of the people who get these 3 books will ever become clients of Davis Law Group, but that's not the point. Chris wrote them because it was the right thing to do. The free Washington Accident book series is a must-have for drivers who want to be prepared for whatever the road might throw at them. Get yours at WashingtonAccidentBooks.com.
CBS News Brief. 11 years after he got the gig on CBS, Stephen Colbert bid his Late Show fans farewell last night.
This show, I want you to know and you to know, has been a joy for us to do for you. We were here to feel the news with you. And I don't know about you, but I sure have felt it.
Racing fan Matt Graham among the many mourning the loss of two-time champion Kyle Busch.
I think back to before I was born when Dale Earnhardt passed and how much that meant to people who watch NASCAR.
His family announced 41-year-old Busch had died just hours after they said he'd been hospitalized for a severe illness. President Trump responding to questions about whether he's losing influence among Senate Republicans amid growing backlash over his $1.8 billion fund for allies who claim they were wronged by the Biden administration.
I don't know. I really don't know. I can tell you I only do what's right.
CBS News Brief. I'm Deborah Rodriguez.
Our forecast is going to be a beautiful Friday, mostly sunny, warming up to 77 today. Tomorrow you'll wake up to some clouds, but sunshine in the afternoon. That'll keep us a little cooler with the clouds in the morning. 73 tomorrow, 70 on Sunday as we're going to start to see those clouds roll in. And Monday is still looking wet. It'll be rainy, breezy for Memorial Day this year, and 59 the high. Right now in Seattle, it's partly cloudy and 55. Coming up, it is the longest-running network radio newscast in the U.S. We have the final installment of the CBS World News Roundup next here on KIRO News Radio.
Rising blast, left field, grand slam, Rosarena!
At T-Mobile Park, you've always got the best seat in the house. But for a truly elevated experience, you've got to be in a Mariner Suite. A suite is the perfect spot to get your game and celebration on. Birthday, promotion, engagement, company team building that actually team builds. No matter your event, we've got a suite you'll love. Group suites can fit 30 to 400 people for big-time bashes. And private suites offer just that, an upscale experience for more intimate gatherings. All Mariner Suites offer an incredible view of the ballpark, so you can't go wrong. Plus, you and your guests will enjoy premium catering, VIP parking, private Skybridge entry, and more. And season ticket members get 15% off. Reserve your suite today at mariners.com/suites.
Bases clearing, 3-run double by Josh Naylor. Holy smokes, the Mariners have the lead.
Mariners baseball. Trident's up.
Wait! Before you change the station, listen to this.
1-877 Cars for Kids. KIRO Cars for Kids. 1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today. 1-877 Cars for Kids. KIRO Cars for Kids. 1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Donate your car at carsforkids.org. That's cars with a K. Pickup is quick and easy. You'll also get a vacation voucher and a tax deduction.
1-877 Cars for Kids. KIRO Cars for Kids. 1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today. 1-877 Cars for Kids. KIRO Cars for Kids. 1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today. Donate your car today.
Seattle's morning news. Always live, always connected. Stream, watch, subscribe, and share at mynorthwest.com.
Good morning. It is 5:46. It is Friday. If you were with us at 5 o'clock, apologies for the technical difficulties this morning. I know there was a lot of anticipation over this. It is the final installment of the CBS World News Roundup. Again, the longest running network radio newscast in the U.S.
Backlash over fund for Trump allies.
These people don't deserve restitution. Many of them deserve to be in prison.
Death of a NASCAR legend.
Here comes the 18. Kyle Busch will win.
Hail and farewell.
This show has been a joy for us to do for you.
For Colbert and CBS News Radio.
This was so important as a sinew that connected the nation electronically.
Good morning. I'm Steve Kathan. With the CBS World News Roundup, there are major questions about the future of the new $1.8 billion Justice Department fund created for Trump allies who claim political prosecution. CBS's Ed O'Keefe tells us Democrats and Republicans want answers.
The nearly $1.8 billion fund created by the Justice Department to compensate people who say they were targeted by government actions is drawing intense pushback from Democrats.
This administration is acting as if the American people are their ATM.
And now a growing number of Republicans, like North Carolina Senator Tom Tillis, who calls the fund, quote, a payout pot for punks.
Under what circumstances would it ever make sense to provide restitution for people who were either pled guilty or were found guilty in a court of law?
Acting Attorney General Todd Blanche tried to make the case to Republican senators in what sources described as a tense meeting. Senator Tommy Tuberville told CBS News Blanche said there would be no compensation for those who assaulted law enforcement. CBS News has reached out to the Justice Department for comment.
The House of Representatives did not vote, as was planned yesterday, on a resolution that would compel President Trump to withdraw from the Iran war. Republicans did not have enough votes to kill it, so the matter's on hold till next month. Republicans are also working to ensure they have the votes to dismiss another war powers resolution in the Senate that advanced to a final vote earlier this week. Well, millions of us are on the move for the Memorial Day holiday weekend. CBS's Skylar Henry takes us to the highway.
The gas prices are completely insane, make it almost out of control to drive.
Drivers aren't expecting any Memorial Day sales at the pump this weekend.
It definitely hurts the wallet right now. It's not pretty. It's probably $140 to fill my tank right now. Before that, it was $80 to $90.
Gas and diesel prices shot up after the war with Iran began earlier this year. Now, the average cost to fill up on regular is more than 50% higher than it was in late February. For some holiday travelers, taking the train is a cheaper option.
I'm definitely happy looking at how much more expensive gas has got that we booked this and we're already set on this.
Tracking service Gas Buddy predicts the price tag could even reach a national average of $4.80 per gallon this summer.
CBS News transportation correspondent Chris Van Cleve says it's busy at the airports, too.
The summer has already started here on the ramp at DFW Airport. American expects it'll be its busiest ever, flying 75 million people.
The pressure's on to get the bags and the customers where they're supposed to go when they're supposed to be there.
Shannon Shepard and his team are working to make sure that happens this weekend.
Every year around Memorial Day, it almost seems like things almost double.
AAA is expecting a record number of Memorial Day travelers despite surging gas prices and rising airfare. While airfares jumped 21% in April compared to the same time last year, American expects to kick off the summer travel season flying more than 4.2 million people this weekend.
CBS's Tom Hansen has more this morning on the death of 41-year-old racing legend Kyle Busch.
Shock reverberating through the racing world after the sudden death of one of NASCAR's greats, Kyle Busch. Nicknamed Rowdy for his aggressive style on the track, the 41-year-old loved to win and hated to lose. He won more races across the sport's 3 national series than any other driver in history, with 234 wins. And clinched 2 Cup Series titles in 2015 and 2019. 11 days before he died, Busch radioed his team during the race at the Watkins Glen Cup Series.
Can somebody try to find Phil Heisel? He's the Hendrick doctor guy. Tell him I need him after the race, please. I'm going to need a shot.
According to the TV broadcast, he'd had a sinus cold, exacerbated by intense G-forces on the track. Yesterday, his family announced Busch was hospitalized and died a short time later. A cause of death has not been released. Busch's death came just 4 days after his final win in the NASCAR Truck Series at Dover Motor Speedway.
Why do these moments never get old, Kyle?
Because you never know when the last one is, you know.
On TV last night, Stephen Colbert brought down the curtain on the CBS Late Show.
This show has been a joy for us to do for you.
After 11 years of hosting The Late Show on CBS, Stephen Colbert signed off after disappointing a few celebrity audience members.
I'm just curious when our interview starts. I have an extremely long poem I want to recite, and I don't want to run out of time.
Paul Rudd stormed out. So did Tim Meadows and Bryan Cranston.
Maybe I could be your last guest.
The thing is that we already have a pretty special one lined up.
The guy who got the honors?
Hey, Steve, what about me?
Paul McCartney, who invited Stephen to join him for a musical farewell. The former Beatle turned out the lights at the Ed Sullivan Theater for good. Deborah Rodriguez, CBS News, New York.
Well, we are also saying farewell this morning. America's longest-running newscast signs off for the last time. It all began on March 13th, 1938.
Columbia now presents a special broadcast, which will include pickups direct from London, from Paris, and such other European capitals as at this late hour abroad have communication channels available. Hello, America. This is Edward Murrow speaking from London.
Murrow and his band of correspondents in major European cities brought the world into American kitchens and living rooms as never before.
Now here's Douglas Edwards with the CBS World News Roundup. Good morning, everybody.
Good morning. This is Dallas Townsend with the CBS World News Roundup.
Our history has always been important to us, and as CBS News Radio signs off today, too, we all leave with a sense of proud accomplishment and gratitude for our listeners and the great radio stations who've been part of our family. They will carry on.
The best in radio reporting is yet to be. Good night and good luck.
And goodbye. As we leave now, let's go back to 1938. Robert Trout, the man behind the microphone on that historic broadcast, recalled it years later.
Paul White, the news director, said, why don't we put a number of them together, a number of correspondents, and have a half-hour show. We have a half an hour free.
We've seen a lot during our time here. Almost 10 years after the attack on America, the desperate hunt for the world's most wanted man is over.
2 major cities are now under lockdown.
The fear is that coronavirus is spreading.
The quake unleashed a huge tsunami, a seemingly endless wave of water.
And have had some fun, too.
After they do the stocks, the guy says, time on the roundup, 8 past the hour.
Some 23,000 broadcasts since it all began. This last roundup was produced by Todd Weiss. Paul Ferry, who produced the broadcast for the better part of 2 decades, retired last year. Before him, Steve Bolton guided the roundup for some 20 years. Lucky to work with such great people. I'm Steve Kathan, CBS News.
And we have been lucky to be affiliated. CBS News Radio again signing off the air tonight after nearly a century of broadcasting. It is a big loss. Our forecast on this Friday, it's going to be lovely, mostly sunny, 77 for today. Tomorrow, look for clouds early on, but sunshine in the afternoon, 73, and then building clouds throughout the day on Sunday. A little bit cooler, about 70. Monday still looks like it's going to be a wet Memorial Day. 59 the high, a little bit breezy too. Right now in Seattle, we have partly cloudy skies. It's 55 degrees. Coming up, KIRO News Radio's Luke Ducey with a look at a deadly shooting on a Metro bus in Auburn. And at 6:15, Photog Steve Hickey joins the show with a local crime report. You're listening to Seattle's Morning News. You can always reach out to us on the Muckleshoot Casino Resort text line. That is 888-973-5476. Or send us your ideas at mynorthwest.com. This is Seattle's Morning News.
Choke Points with Chris Sullivan.
With Choke Points, we try to answer listeners' questions. It can be as simple as a neighborhood stop sign, or it can be as big as the budget for transportation. I don't care. I'll find the answer for you. It's really easy to get a hold of me at mynorthwest.com. We have a direct link there that gets right to me. You can also do it in the app. You can hit me up on the text line.
Choke Points, presented by Carter Subaru. Tuesdays and Thursdays on KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM.
If you're over 62 and feel squeezed by rising monthly bills, listen carefully. I'm Steve Teitler, owner of Best Mortgage. Every week I talk with seniors who love their home, want to stay in it, but feel more financial pressure every month. Property taxes are adding up. Insurance is up. Everyday bills are up, and for some, they still have a mortgage payment on top of all of that. Are you worried about outliving your savings? A reverse mortgage could help by eliminating your mortgage payment, paying off debt, and giving you breathing room every month. Now, let me be clear, it's not right for everyone. But for the right person, it can be a powerful tool. When you call Best Mortgage for a free consultation, you'll talk directly with me. I'll explain your options and tell you honestly if it makes sense for your situation. If you're 62 or older and want straight answers about staying in your home with less financial stress, call me today, 425-649-6000. Best Mortgage. Honest advice you can trust. 425-649-6000.
Mark is 76, and his shoulder pain was getting in the way of him playing baseball. You heard that right. Baseball.
Yeah, there's a whole league here of old guys pretending like we're kids.
The pain from severe arthritis just wasn't going away.
It was like a nerve-type pain, and I couldn't sleep at night.
That's when Mark decided to see Dr. Mark Wagner, MD, at Seattle Sports and Regenerative Medicine for stem cell therapy.
Well, if I can avoid surgery anytime, you'd probably be better off.
Mark is back out on the diamond playing baseball.
So I moved into this retirement community, and I talked about my shoulder, and these old people here, they got all excited about it, and two of them now have gone to see Mark Wagner. They don't like driving into Seattle, so I drive them in.
He more than recommends Dr. Wagner. He chauffeurs. So whether it's a hip like mine or a shoulder, elbow, ankle, wrist, or knee, before choosing surgery, see Dr. Mark Wagner first. He's the most experienced in the Northwest with over 20,000 stem cell procedures. Go to drmarkwagnermd.com.
Our first Mark Challenge victory is Aaron McCoy from McCoy Home Solutions, yet another small business owner that took the First Mark Insurance Challenge. Aaron, why did you make the call to First Mark Insurance?
My company has grown to a space where we need a higher level of coverage. A couple of factors led me to say, boy, I really need to find something new. And First Mark really rang that bell.
First Mark save you and your business money?
Oh, yeah. They have decreased overall expense in a couple categories by up to 30%, coverage in a couple of areas by greater than 50%. They've offered coverage in two new categories that I think are pertinent for my business, and they've greatly impacted what that coverage and those margins look like.
Kind of wish you made the call earlier.
I absolutely do. Yeah.
So if you're a small business owner that wants to take the stress of insurance off your plate, do what Aaron McCoy did for McCoy Home Solutions. Make the call to First Mark Insurance. They're your teammate that goes to work for you. FirstMarkInsurance.com.
Golden Crest Metals helps investors understand how physical gold and silver can be held inside qualified retirement accounts without pressure or confusion. Our team brings decades of experience in precious metals and retirement planning with a focus on clear education, straightforward pricing, and a process designed to put clients first. Why do investors choose Golden Crest Metals? Experience, transparency, and a client-first approach. Tune into The Gold Show with Kenny Michaels every Saturday at 1 p.m.
Carter Subaru is Seattle's only Subaru dealer with the largest selection of Subarus in Washington. With over 800 vehicles in stock, they have exactly what you're looking for with savings you'll love. Visit Carter Subaru in Shoreline and Ballard or anytime at cartersubaru.com.
Your best source for local news. KIRO News Radio, KIRO FM and HD1, Tacoma, Seattle, Northwest News. This is CBS News on the Hour, your home for original reporting.
I'm Deborah Rodriguez. The risk from an outbreak of Ebola in Congo has just skyrocketed. The warning from the World Health Organization's Director General Tedros Ghebreyesus this past hour. He says cases are spreading quickly.
Previously, WHO assessed the risk as high at the national and regional levels and low at global levels. We're now revising our risk assessment to very high at the national level, high at the regional level, and low at global level.
He says 82 cases have now been confirmed in the Democratic Republic of Congo, 7 deaths confirmed. But Ghebreyesus acknowledges the epidemic is much larger there. Secretary of State Marco Rubio reporting slight progress in Iran peace talks. It says Tehran's bid to make ships pay for passage in the Strait of Hormuz is, in his words, not acceptable.
Iran is trying to create a tolling system. They're trying to convince Oman, by the way, to join them in this tolling system in an international waterway. There is not a country in the world that should accept that.
Rubio's comments before a NATO meeting in Sweden, where the alliance is discussing its role in the strait. President Trump is facing pushback from Republicans in Congress over the nearly $1.8 billion of taxpayer money earmarked for his anti-weaponization fund to pay allies claiming they were wronged by the Biden administration. CBS's Ed O'Keefe is at the White House.
Some senators say they pressed for answers and walked away wanting even more clarity on who exactly might get paid. One lawmaker called the fund a, quote, curveball that nobody anticipated, as skepticism, especially among Republicans, continues to grow.
Lawmakers left for the holiday without voting on a bill that contains funding for some of the president's priorities, including the White House ballroom. Fans, friends, and fellow racers are remembering NASCAR champ Kyle Busch, who died yesterday at the age of 41.
Busch's former teammate and friend Jimmy Johnson told CBS Mornings what he'll remember him for the most.
A great personality behind the wheel. His nickname was Rowdy. A fierce competitor, but then at the same time, helmet comes off with his family.
Busch leaves behind a wife and 2 small children.
Growing up with this void, experiencing some tragedy on my own and understanding we still try to continue on. My heart breaks for him.
Stacey Lynn, CBS News.
His family hasn't announced a cause of death. As many Americans head out for the holiday weekend, price of fuel putting a crimp in plans. CBS's Chris Van Cleve.
Expedia's summer trends report found it may well be a stay here summer for many. 63% of travelers said they were planning domestic trips this summer.
This is CBS News.
Every Sunday, moderator Margaret Brennan goes face-to-face with top leaders to make you better informed. Face the Nation, Sunday on CBS and streaming on Paramount+.
It's 6:03 Friday morning. Let's check in with Sully for traffic.
And we're doing really well. It's super quiet, even for a Friday morning and on this getaway day for the weekend. I'm not sure if people are going to be getting on the road a little later, maybe blowing off work for the morning. But so far, all green on the map. 30 minutes from Olympia to Tacoma. Federal Way to Seattle's only 35. Not even any hint of braking right around Auburn on northbound 167 today. 35 minutes up to Renton. That's a great number. Renton to Bellevue, 15. Coming down from the north end, we really don't even have any much slowing past the forced merge in Northgate. All in all, 35 minutes from Everett to Seattle or Everett to Bellevue. So we are off to a booming start. Let's keep it going. This report brought to you by the Harnish Auto family with Super Sale is on now through May 31st. Exclusive deals, 0 downs, no payments all summer. Approval of credit. In Puyallup and Everett, Harnish Auto family, where people matter.
Now, the latest from KIRO Newsradio and MyNorthwest.com.
Live from East Lake Avenue.
You're listening to Charlie Harger and Manda Factor, Seattle's morning news.
Good morning. It's 6:04. Auburn police are searching for a suspect who shot a teenager on a bus.
KIRO Newsradio's Luke Ducey is here with more on the shooting and where it happened.
Yeah, let's start with the latest from Auburn police on this.
We believe that there's at least one suspect involved in this. We also do not think this was a random attack. We do believe that the people involved knew each other, so we don't necessarily think there's a threat to the community.
But they're still looking for the suspect at this hour. That Metro bus was traveling through 29th Street Southeast and M Street Southeast in Auburn. If you don't know where that is, we've got maps that we want to show for you on our YouTube feed right now. And we'll tell you where it is if you're listening this morning. Start with a map just down the street from Game Farm Park there in Auburn. A satellite map, though, will give you a kind of a closer look. This was right at the intersection near the Church of the Nazarene. And we've got a street view of that area as well, of what it looked like. Police say they got a call around 9:30 last night. They found that 17-year-old victim who was shot at least one time on board a Metro bus. They say he's in stable condition. He was actually speaking with officers there at the scene after being shot before he was taken to Harborview Medical Center. Police put on Facebook this morning that they had a canine tracking the area for the suspect. No arrests yet. That gunman is still out there somewhere. No idea why that shooting happened in the first place. Charlie, I know you and I were talking right before we went on air here. There has been a lot of violence there in the last, at least a couple of years ago. A lot of gang violence reported. And now, there are guesses this could be an uptick in that kind of violence again. Let's hope it's not, but it is a random shooting on a bus.
That neighborhood has been through a lot. Okay, yeah, and so on this one, let's keep you updated throughout the morning, folks, to see what's going on. But let's hope bigger picture this is not something that we don't want it to be. But let's find that suspect. Okay, Luke Ducey reporting live. It's now 6:06.
A Pierce County man accused of killing his girlfriend and disposing of her body was in court yesterday to face a murder charge, even though her body has not been found. We get the latest from KIRO Newsradio's James Lynch.
30-year-old Kendrick Deshaun Bruce pleaded not guilty to a murder charge, and bail was set at $2 million. The victim went missing April 1st. Detectives initially arrested Bruce for identity theft and felony harassment. He was released, but after further investigation, Bruce was rearrested Wednesday for first-degree murder. Tacoma police officer Shelby Boyd explains a murder charge with no body.
As long as you meet your elements of your crime, that's what they needed. And so they were able to obtain that, and prosecutor's office was on board.
The search for the victim is ongoing. James Lynch, KIRO News Radio.
Independent journalist Steve Hickey has been digging in on this case. He's going to join us in just a few minutes to share what he has found.
A Tenino couple is free after a jury found them not guilty of murder. The Olympian reports Curtis and Tabitha Gibson were acquitted yesterday in Thurston County Superior Court. They were charged in the shooting death of 56-year-old Gaylord Travis Sayers at a bar near Offutt Lake back in 2024. Prosecutors say the couple planned it, but the defense argued Curtis Gibson was defending himself from members of a motorcycle club. Both had been in jail for more than 2 years.
The Washington State Patrol is paying $340,000 to settle a lawsuit over deleted records. The Seattle Times reports former troopers accused the agency of destroying texts and documents tied to their firings. They were let go in 2021 for refusing the COVID vaccine mandate ordered by then Governor Jay Inslee. A larger lawsuit challenging that mandate itself is still ongoing.
Keeping you informed since 1974. This is the city's longest-running radio news show.
Seattle's Morning News on KIRO News Radio.
And we're off for Friday, May 22nd.
In so many ways, Manda, we are off.
Define off.
Well, when we don't have a newscast at the top of the 5 a.m. hour, that's just kind of an indication. Could be kind of spicy.
I am glad to say it wasn't our fault.
Yeah. Well, today, by the way, this is the last day of CBS News Radio.
Yep.
We will be listening to the final few newscasts before we transfer over to ABC at some point during the day today.
Yeah, rest assured, we are not going anywhere.
No.
We're still here. Just going to be working with ABC News now.
Yeah, by the way, Dave Ross is going to join us at 7:15 to talk about kind of the history of CBS and KIRO. So if you are somebody who loves Dave like we do, you should stay tuned for that.
All right, Chris Sullivan is here, keeping an eye on traffic as it's a big getaway day for a lot of people. Producer David Burbank is in the studio. And Ian Douglas filling in for Nick Krisha on the board and picking the music.
Okay, this hour of Seattle's Morning News, sponsored by American Crawl Space and Pest Control. Coming up, we'll have a local crime report. We're going to hear from photog Steve Hickey.
Also, KIRO News Radio's James Lynch with his Cold Case Project.
It's 6:09 now. Seattle city leaders are addressing the increasing crime along Aurora Avenue. Here's KIRO 7's Madeline Ottley.
Councilmember Deborah Juarez responded with a blog post on Thursday outlining action the city is taking. We also reached out to Mayor Katie Wilson and Councilmember Bob Kettle Thursday. He runs the Public Safety Committee. Kettle told us he's actively monitoring this, but said directing extra patrols comes from the mayor. Mayor Wilson told us Thursday afternoon that SPD is developing immediate plans for more officers there on emphasis patrols.
The King County Prosecutor's Office released surveillance video showing the minutes before a University of Washington student was stabbed to death in an off-campus apartment building. 31-year-old Christopher Leahy is seen entering the laundry room at the Nordheim Court Apartments May 10th, where he briefly speaks with a woman who held the door open for him.
Thanks. Sorry about that. Oh, my clothes in here.
They leave, and later in the video, Juniper is seen sitting on the floor. Leahy then re-enters, looks directly at the camera, and walks out before the video ends. Prosecutors say he unplugged the camera before the assault. The medical examiner says she was stabbed more than 40 times. You can see that video. It is disturbing at mynorthwest.com.
6:10 now. Longview police have arrested the town's school superintendent, accusing her of blocking and mishandling reports of sexual misconduct involving students at Mark Morris High School. Karen Cloninger faces charges including witness tampering and failure to report. Investigators say school officials were alerted to serious allegations months ago, but handled the matter internally. Police say the case is ongoing. More developments are likely.
A deadly crash shut down Highway 18 between Covington and Maple Valley yesterday. State Patrol Trooper Rick Johnson says on X, one driver died. Several others were seriously hurt. At least 3 vehicles were involved, blocking all eastbound lanes right near Highway 169 for hours. One person was airlifted to Harborview in serious condition. 2 others rushed to hospitals. Troopers say a wrong-way driver may have caused that crash, but it's still under investigation.
Well, it is Memorial Day weekend. We can expect some long lines on the ferries.
Be prepared for what is expected to be a very busy Memorial Day holiday weekend. And just to be kind to our employees. They're working hard through the holiday weekend, to safely move all of you and us to where we need to be to celebrate.
Justin Fujioka with the state DOT says 350,000 people are expected on the ferry system between yesterday and Monday. You'll wait a whole lot less if you ride early or late.
Good advice. Just be kind, okay?
Exactly.
Part of the Wonderland Trail at Mount Rainier is closed right now because of what the park calls unusual bear activity. The park posted on Facebook the stretch between Narada Falls Trail and Stevens Canyon Road is temporarily shut down. If you're hiking in the area and run into a black bear, the park says stay calm, back away slowly, don't run. If one approaches you, stand your ground, make yourself look big, and make a lot of noise.
That's what I do whenever Nick Allard is around. I just try to look big.
Back away slowly.
Not easy. Yeah,
I don't make direct eye contact.
Can't do that. You know the rules. If you see me in the hallway, don't address me. Do not address me as Mr. Harvey. Absolutely not.
Oh, no, of course not.
Nope, none of that stuff is okay.
Thanks, Mr.
This
Harvey.
morning, thank you. This morning, it is really nice out there. We have sunshine. It's going to be a beautiful day, and it doesn't really change much today, to be honest with you. It's just about the sunshine. It's just going to hold that way the rest of the day with temperatures, say, about 77 to 78. Now, tomorrow, I think you're going to see more clouds to start the day, and then you will see sunshine. So the first part of your day is cloudy. Second part of your day, you'll see more sun. And then after that, on Sunday, it's the same idea to start, where you see low clouds early. As the low clouds are clearing, then high clouds come in. So today it's sun all day. Tomorrow it's cloudy for the first half of the day, and then sun. Sunday, you just see high clouds pretty much most of the day. And temperatures go 77, 78 today, about, 73, 74 tomorrow, and about 69 to 70 on Sunday. Still, though, you notice I've said we're dry, and we are. But then Monday morning, and you may be, farther north and at the coast overnight, maybe as early as like 3 a.m., some rain. But rain really comes in with this front on Monday morning by, say, late morning. And then it will be breezy, it will be wet, and highs will only be in the upper 50s, say 58, 59. Bottom line, you are absolutely going to have a lot of rain, and you got to be ready for that. So I say get out of there early if you can, and you'll skip it, because the rest of the time, not bad.
All right. Right now we have a few wispy clouds in Seattle, otherwise mostly sunny. Wispy.
Wispy. Say what way?
Cool whip. It's
cool whip.
54 in Seattle.
6:13. We have business to tend to. Bye, Nick. All right, time to check traffic. We do that every 10 minutes. Sully, still quiet?
And I'm not even dragging the show down by getting involved. You two can figure that stuff out.
For once.
Yeah, exactly. I'm turning over a new leaf on this Friday. Let's see if it lasts. We're looking really good. The roads are quiet. No, I know it will not. We're looking at about a 35-minute trip from Federal Way to Seattle, a matching 35 up from Puyallup to Renton, only a half an hour from Olympia to Tacoma. The lake bridges are still in very good shape coming down from the north end. We really don't even have any braking through the 527 interchange at Canyon Park or really through the Forest Merge in Northgate. So a 35-minute trip from Everett to Seattle or Bellevue. Checking to see if anybody's already on the road now, getting away from town. And 90 in the eastbound direction looks really good. Southbound 5 looking really good for people who might be heading to the coast. So all in all, we're in a very good spot. This report brought to you by D.R. Horton. Looking for the best deal on a new home? Discover the D.R. Horton Home of the Week. Visit drhorton.com. Schedule a tour today. D.R. Horton, America's builder and equal housing opportunity builder.
Keep keeping you informed since 1974. This is the city's longest-running radio news show.
Seattle's Morning News on KIRO News Radio.
6:15 now. Time to get a local crime report this morning. We're joined by journalist Photog Steve in the studio. Steve, thanks for making time for us this morning. We wanted to talk to you about this case we had up at the top of the hour. A body is missing, but somebody has been arrested for a killing in Tacoma. Tell us a little bit about this. This is Kendrick Bruce who has been charged?
Yeah, that's right. So this is one of those rare cases where the suspect is being charged with what's called a no-body homicide. So no body's been recovered, but based on the documents I've gone through and the court hearing yesterday, I've gotten an understanding of why it is the prosecutors and law enforcement think that they have their person. So there is a victim, 37-year-old female, Tamaro Dawn Dill Pickett, who also is a mother. She had met this man and they had been carrying on a relationship. The child that she has was not with him. And in early March, people around her started getting concerned. They were trying to text and contact her and getting messages back that didn't look like the way she wrote, not saying where she was, and they were starting to get concerned. Ultimately, they called police and police start getting involved. They contact the suspect, Kendrick Deshawn Bruce, and at the time they didn't have enough to charge, but they were very curious as to what all he had going on. Her ex, who she has a child with, they still stay in contact frequently. Apparently, he had full custody, but she could come and pick the child up whenever she wanted. They had a pretty good working relationship. He becomes aware of potentially her card, a card with an app called Chime, which sounds like it's similar like a payment app, like a Zelle or Venmo. That's been used since she stopped communicating or communicating the way they would expect. Investigators use that as a chance to come in and see what's going on because of this financial component. And what they determined was that the suspect was using that account without her, taking money out, paying for things like gas.
And this is all in the documents from prosecutors.
That's
right?
correct. So they've alleged everything that I'm laying out here is in the documents. So they use that as a chance to go back and make contact with him again. According to the documents, right off the bat, he says, yes, well, she owed me some money. I didn't know she was going to get it to me, so I just used the card. At that point, they have an argument for a identity theft case. And without her being able to come and say, yes, I wanted him to use it, there they go. From there, they start getting warrants, and they start looking into where he's been, what his past is, where his vehicle's been. And I won't get too deep into the details because they're extremely graphic, but what they lay out is they believe that he most likely killed her very early March, but subsequently, before killing her and then after killing her, it's his Google searches that really have them able to keep him held with a $2 million bail, by the way. And the reason for that was yesterday, and the family and friends were in the courtroom. She had dozens of people there supporting her. They didn't know the details of the case, and the prosecutor started reading through some of these Google searches, and they start with as simple as, how many times you have to hit somebody in the head with a hammer.
Oh, my goodness.
What is that like? All the way into what you would classify as necrophilia. And myself, I do these pretty frequently. I see some pretty wild stuff. This was out there. And he has past military experience. I don't know that matters to this, but it was interesting because usually when you see a case like this and the details are so off the wall, this is somebody who's not stable. He's appearing very stable. He's responding to the judge, calling the judge commissioner, seemed to be mentally completely there. But when you go through the documents and you learn about the case, you picture somebody who's completely out of their mind. So at this point, he has pled not guilty. The judge did grant the $2 million bail and leaned into what they had found in his Google searches. I don't know where this case goes yet. Outside of a not guilty plea, I think what investigators are ultimately hoping is since they cannot find a body, and he seems to have put a lot of thought into how to get rid of that body, that may become part of a plea deal. Here's where the body is in exchange for X amount of time. He also had what appeared to be a private attorney yesterday, but they were asking to go to a public defender. So I think there's going to be, like a lot of these, early on it's just get the person to a not guilty or guilty plea, generally not guilty, while they figure out who's going to be the attorney and then start going from there.
You mentioned a military connection. Do we know anything else about his past?
Not so far. No, I'm waiting on getting his background records. I don't know that he even had an exemplary or remarkable career, but there was a military component.
Steve, what do we know about where this might have taken place? Is this all within Pierce County?
So that's another interesting part. So this really got put out in the Ocean Shores community, and it was seen as somebody from Ocean Shores. But they seem to be alluding to in the documents and whatnot, and why Tacoma Police Department has made the arrest, is that his location in Puyallup, where that overlaps with Tacoma, it seems to be where they think a lot happened. That and his vehicle. So in his searches also had very specific things about how to get rid of a certain type of mold in a Jeep Grand Cherokee. So they've taken that vehicle now. I think that's going to, as they start getting more test results back, that'll lay a path as to where did this actually happen. But with him having both phones, there's lots of data for weeks of where he was at every time.
Let's talk about Photog Steve for a minute here, because the big flex for me with my kids is I know Photog Steve. You've got hundreds of thousands of followers on different social media platforms. How did you get started? What got you started in this?
So my background, I was a home builder and real estate developer for about 20 years. Born and raised out here, so I know the area. And COVID hits, and so everything stops, and all the projects hold. And what's that?
You're not doing any of this at that point. COVID, so 2020, you're just this dude. You're not a reporter or anything like that.
That's it. But I grew up watching the news. Yeah. When you and I first started talking, I knew exactly who you were, what's your background. I mean, since I was
Did you say you listened to me in high school?
I may have. Yeah. Not a lot of high school kids listening to radio, but yes,
it's okay.
And even as a little kid, I was watching the Today Show every morning, and so I've always liked news. I for myself, even if you don't like the answer, having the answer and making it logical just always worked for kind of how my brain worked. And so 2020 hits. And we've got COVID. Now we're getting protests and riots. And one of my favorite pieces of work out there is a documentary called LA 92. Amazing piece. It's about an hour and a half. No narration. They take from news clips and things happen in the field. And it was kind of the arc from the Rodney King beating and then subsequent riots. And it wasn't really about this is good, this is bad. It's everything shades of gray. It's cause and effect. And so as 2020 is coming in here now, we're going to be having the protest component. I just wanted to go out and film. I thought it would go on a shelf somewhere. Maybe sometime down the road, there would be documentaries made and I would have this thing. And while I was parking up at a parking lot up on Capitol Hill where when the Nationals came to town, these are people who are on TV or producers who don't generally get recognized. I'm like, I know who that person is, being the news nerd. And we get talking one day and they said, hey, what do you shoot? So I show them, I break out my laptop and they go, hey, we would give you X amount for 30 seconds a night. And I looked, I was like, I'm going to do that. I'm just out here just doing this, as a hobby right now. And it kind of took off from there. And so as that then wrapped up, started doing local news. And then around 2022, TikTok, I was just putting stuff up there, stuff that the stations weren't buying. And all of a sudden I found out that there's a pretty big audience out there. So now as of yesterday, it's a little over 2 million people across platforms that are following these stories. And it's enough that I can carve out my own little business and do what I like to do.
We're almost out of time, but my one question for you is, do you sleep?
I nap.
Every time I check in, first thing in the morning at 3, you're somewhere on scene.
Yeah, I sleep well when I do sleep, but I nap. It's just kind of all throughout the day.
And the movie Nightcrawler, is that more of a documentary to you or a drama?
It's a great movie. It is not accurate, but I love that movie. I watch it multiple times every year.
All right. Photog Steve Hickey, always a pleasure to have you in the studio. Be sure to check out some of the documents Steve has on his social. This is a radio program. We just can't get into it. But
no, it's quite disturbing.
All right. Photog Steve, thank you. It's 6:23 now. Let's head over to Sully at the traffic desk.
Enjoying a very good day on this getaway Friday before Memorial Day weekend. Starting to see just the slightest of volume building right around the West Seattle Bridge on northbound I-5. But overall, the travel time still 35 minutes from Federal Way to Seattle. And behind that, Olympia to Tacoma looks really good. No problems for you guys. The eastbound 512, no problems down South Hill and getting through Puyallup up through Auburn, nice and easy. 35 minutes up to Renton. You will have a slight breaking through the ramp meters there as you try to transition to northbound 405, but then Renton to Bellevue's only 15. Lake Bridges quiet coming down from the north end, 35 minutes or less. So we are in a very quiet pattern right now. So let's keep that going. This report brought to you by the Seattle Mariners. Don't miss 8 fireworks nights this season, presented by T-Mobile. First show, May 29th. Get your tickets, mariners.com/fireworks.
Looks like we'll have sunny skies today, highs in the mid-70s, 53 right now in Seattle.
And coming up, KIRO News Radio's Luke Ducey on what to expect from Memorial Day traffic at SeaTac Airport. We'll also get to your opening bell report here on Seattle's Morning News.
Word for Closets by Design. If you're having one of those mornings where you're already behind, you can't find what you need, your closet's a mess, your pantry is overflowing, your garage, you're stepping over stuff. Well, you're not doing anything wrong. It's just that a lot of homes weren't set up the way we actually live. Closets by Design, not just closets. Garages where you can park your car. A pantry you can actually use. Maybe it's a laundry room, home office, wall bed, entertainment center, mudroom. They do everything. All custom built at their location in Kent. It's designed for your home and routines. Nothing is off a shelf. Nothing is pre-made. And here's the key. When things are designed right, your day just goes smoother. There's less clutter, less frustration. Everything finally has a place. Right now, for a limited time, you can get 40% off, plus an additional 15% off, and 18 months, 0% financing on approved credit if paid in full. So go to closetsbydesign.com or give them a call. They're 1-800-BY-DESIGN. You can get your project started today.
KIRO News Radio, the first place you turn for the news you trust.
Renton police investigating a shooting that happened just after midnight.
Engaging conversation.
It's just indefensible. The mayor's communications team should be better.
Traffic.
A full closure now, southbound 509 at Alexander Avenue.
And your Super Bowl champion Seahawks.
Touchdown, Seahawks!
Streaming everywhere on the KIRO News Radio app. Always here, always with you. KIRO News Radio, 97.3 FM.
At Fisher Investments, we may seem like other money managers, but we're different.
Are you really that different than the rest of us?
We are. As a fiduciary, we always focus on what's best for our clients.
What services do you offer besides investing?
We have a team of specialists in financial planning, estate planning, and more.
Your clients rely on you for all that?
Yes, we ensure clients receive unparalleled service at every step of the relationship.
Okay, but you still sell commission-based products, right?
No, because we believe that's a conflict of interest. We prioritize service over sales goals.
So, then how do your fees work?
We have a simple and transparent fee that's a percentage of our clients' portfolios. So we do better when our clients do better.
Wow, we're more different than I thought.
At Fisher Investments, we're clearly different. Learn more at fisherinvestments.com.
Investing in securities involves the risk of loss.
How does your roof look after this winter? Justin Shirley, CEO of State Roofing and Exteriors. Spring into action today. Save $3,000 on a new roof, siding, deck, or windows. Call 866-ROOF-ROOF or visit stateroofing.com.
The Harnish Auto Family Super Sale is happening right now. The cost of living has gone up, but when buying a car, it doesn't have to feel like it. Zero Down delivers, no payments all summer, and exclusive 10-day deals in partnership with Tapco Credit Union. With a wide selection of new vehicles and over 400 used vehicles across 5 dealerships, you'll find just what you're looking for. Visit Subaru, Volkswagen, and Chevy Buick GMC of Puyallup or Kia and Chevy of Everett. Harnish Auto Family. People matter.
Offers available OAC on select models. Exclusions apply. See dealer for details.
When you're hiring, have you ever felt like you're missing out on meeting truly great candidates for your roles? It seems impossible to find them, but they have to be out there somewhere, right? Well, they're not hard to find when you know where to go, and that place is ZipRecruiter. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter helps 10 million people with their job search every day. And because these people are actively looking for jobs just like yours, it's easy to find the right person right away. In fact, 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. But if you're not using ZipRecruiter, you're missing out. So see what it's like when the impossible is easy. When you go to ZipRecruiter.com/radio right now to try ZipRecruiter for free. Once again, that's ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter.com/radio. Never miss out on great candidates with ZipRecruiter.
Adopt US Kids presents What to Expect When You're Expecting. A teenager. Learning the lingo.
Today I'm going to help parents translate teen slang. Now, when a teen says something is on fleek, it's exactly like saying, that's rad. It simply means that something is awesome or cool. Another one is totes. It's exactly like saying, totally, just shorter. As in, I totes love going to the mall with Becca. Another word you might hear is jelly. Jelly is a shorter, better way to say jealous. As in, Chloe, I am like so jelly of your unicorn phone case.
You don't have to speak teen to be a perfect parent. Thousands of teens in foster care will think you're, rad just the same. To learn more, visit adoptuskids.org. A public service announcement brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, Adopt U.S. Kids, and the Ad Council.
Experience the thrill of seeing orcas and humpback whales with Puget Sound Express. Join their family-run tours for guaranteed whale sightings departing daily from Edmonds. These are Seattle's most popular and well-reviewed whale tours. Book now at PugetSoundExpress.com.
G. Scott here. Safeway wants you to know SunBucks gives qualifying families $120 per child for summer groceries. Some families are signed up automatically. Others need to apply. Find out if you should apply at freesummermeals.org.
Man, I love this place. I've been surfing here since I was a kid. Now, seeing my grandson out on the water, it means everything to me. Watching him and taking in the blue waves, the sea breeze, the blurry horizon?
If you have geographic atrophy, or GA, subtle changes in vision could mean it's progressing toward irreversible vision loss. Izervay is proven to slow GA progression and could help preserve your vision for longer, so you may keep seeing the world around you. Izervay, or avacincaptad pegol, is an eye injection. Don't take it if you have an infection or active swelling in or around your eye. Izervay can cause eye infection, retinal detachment, or increased risk of wet AMD. Izervay may cause blood in the white of the eye, blurred vision, or a temporary increase in eye pressure. Do not drive or use machinery until vision has recovered after an eye injection or exam. Ask your retina specialist how you can slow your GA with Izervay. To learn more, call 1-855-IZERVAY or go to izervay.com. Paid for by Astellas Pharma.
Now, the latest from KIRO Newsradio and MyNorthwest.com.
Live from East Lake Avenue.
You're listening to Charlie Harger and Manda Factor, Seattle's morning news.
Good morning. It is 6:31. A search is underway for the suspect in the shooting of a 17-year-old boy. It happened on a Metro bus in Auburn.
KIRO 7 TV's Ranji Sinha reports from the scene.
The bus was going through this area when the shooting happened on its route. Last night, we saw police on the bus as they collected evidence and started this investigation.
We believe that there's at least one suspect involved in this. We also do not think this was a random attack. We do believe that the people involved knew each other. So we don't necessarily think there's a threat to the community.
Now, there was a handful of people on the bus at the time of the shooting, according to police, traveling through this residential area of Auburn, and police are looking at cameras on the bus as well as maybe cameras in this area to try to get more details.
AAA is predicting this will be the busiest Memorial Day ever, with 45 million Americans traveling 50 miles or more over the weekend.
And that includes more than 1 million of us Washingtonians. KIRO News Radio's Luke Ducey is here with how you might beat the traffic this weekend.
A lot of people on the roadways, but let's have fun with this a little bit. You know, AAA predicting 200,000 more people on the roads than last year. Maybe you're like me and my family. A lot of Clark Griswolds out there on vacation this weekend. You hear a lot of this.
Clark, I think we're lost.
We're not lost. Ellen, will you please let me do the driving?
Yeah, I'm always lost, and my wife is always making corrections. 1.23 million Washingtonians are hitting the roads, heading out of town this weekend. All right, that's the highest in 20 years. So, according to INRIX, what is the best time to get on the road? Today, it is before 11 a.m., so hurry up. You got some time, but hurry up. Don't dilly-dally. The sooner the better. The worst times on the road today in Washington State, between 11 a.m. and 8 p.m. Saturday, basically the same. Sunday, minimal traffic all day, so that's a great day, but your vacation's almost over at that point. Monday, coming back home, the congestion's going to start around 10 a.m., the worst time between noon and 5 p.m. If you're coming back along I-90 from Ellensburg, like the rest of the free world, travel times will increase, according to INRIX, 56% in the afternoon. All right, let's talk gas prices real fast. The national average for a gallon right now, $4.55 this morning, $5.72 across the state. Diesel is $6.70. Here's Gas Buddy's Patrick DeHaan.
I think most Americans are probably going to see gas prices going up this week ahead of Memorial Day with last week's bigger jump in the price of oil.
And we're looking at them right now, still holding steady. If you're flying, air travel expected to surge this weekend at 970,000 travelers passing through SeaTac. Take a guess. Top three, this is kind of surprising, top three travel destinations in the U.S. for air travelers this Memorial Day. Number one, you can probably guess. I mean, it's in Florida, Orlando. Right? I mean, it's going to be Disney World, okay? Number two on that list, You won't guess it.
Does it have a Space Needle?
It does. It's Seattle.
We both heard the story.
I saw that.
You
Sorry.
did.
I gave it away.
And then New York City and Las Vegas. Interesting, at the top on the second tier for top international destinations, Vancouver, BC. So Pacific Northwest is a destination for a lot of people. Finally, if you're taking a Washington State ferry, expect long lines on the ferries. 350,000 people expected to ride a ferry this weekend. Here's Justin Fujioka with WashDOT with a good reminder for all of us, no matter if it's a ferry, you're driving, whatever.
Be prepared for what is expected to be a very busy Memorial Day holiday weekend. And just to be kind to our employees. They're working hard through the holiday weekend, to safely move all of you and us to where we need to be to celebrate.
It wasn't pack your patience. It was be nice.
Be kind.
Be nice.
To everybody.
Let the person zipper just do it. And wave. Don't forget to wave. People don't wave.
With all 5 fingers.
All 5. No one's number 1.
Okay.
All right.
Luke Ducey reporting live.
Time to find out what's happening on the roads right now. Chris Sullivan has our traffic update.
And if you didn't hear my choke point last week, for those of you and everybody in the world who's coming back on westbound I-90 to go to the Valley Freeway, 2 lanes exit at Highway 18.
Yes.
In the westbound, you don't need
Both
to be
directions.
in that far right lane. Yeah.
Good
you
reminder.
don't need to be in that far right lane. Just got a text from one of our texters. Says even the GPS doesn't know 2 lanes exit there. And if you're in that right lane, don't cut off the people that are using that lane. 2 lanes exit. This isn't difficult, though there are no signs to tell you that. On the roads right now, we do have a pretty easy drive. Renton to Bellevue, only 15. 35 up the Valley Freeway. Not quite 40 from Federal Way to Seattle, with some brake lights past the West Seattle Bridge. Coming down out of the north end, finally seeing some brake lights in Northgate, a little bit in Bothell, but we're under 40 from Everett to Seattle or Bellevue. KIRO Newsradio Real-Time Traffic. I'm Chris Sullivan.
Forecast looks kind of nice today. We're heading for a high in the mid-70s. 77 the forecast high for Seattle. 73 tomorrow. Clouds start to build on Sunday. 70 the high on Monday. Nick Allard tells us it'll be rainy and kind of breezy. 59 the high. 54 right now downtown.
It's now 6:36.
From ABC News, Wall Street now. After stumbling through the week, investors hope to head into the 3-day holiday weekend on a high note. The Dow on Thursday rose 276 points to an all-time high close of 50,286. The S&P and NASDAQ also posted gains but fell short of their own records. What is normally the hottest time of the year for home sales may be cooled by rising interest rates. Before the war with Iran, rates had dipped below 6%. Freddie Mac says the average for a 30-year note is now up to just over 6.5%. The nation's insurance companies are bracing for Atlantic hurricane season 2026. Federal forecasters have offered a break in that dark cloud, predicting a below-average year with 8 to 14 named storms and up to 6 hurricanes. Kroger hopes to make waves in the grocery sector. CEO Greg Ferran tells Bloomberg that he intends to increase sales by cutting prices on thousands of items. He says it's worked for competitors Walmart, Costco, and Trader Joe's. Jim Ryan, ABC News.
SpaceX filed to go public on Wednesday, and its Redmond satellite factory, big part of the story. Puget Sound Business Journal reports the company's IPO could raise $80 billion or more, which would make it the biggest in history. SpaceX builds its Starlink satellites in Redmond, cranking out about 70 a week. Starlink brought in more than $11 billion in revenue last year, making it the company's biggest moneymaker. SpaceX will trade on NASDAQ under the ticker SPCX.
Alaska Airlines has made its first nonstop flight from Seattle to London. This is a daily year-round service now on a Boeing 787 Dreamliner. It's Alaska's second European route after it launched nonstop flights to Rome in April. The Seattle Times notes it's part of a broader push to make Alaska an international airline. It already flies to Tokyo, Seoul, and starting next week, Reykjavik, Iceland.
AAA says 40 million Americans will be getting to their holiday destinations by car this year. National average, $4.55 a gallon. Here in the King County, $6.05 a gallon. CBS's Skylar Henry in Atlanta asked Patrick DeHaan with Gas Buddy how high gas prices might go this year.
Gas Buddy predicts the price tag could even reach a national average of $4.80 per gallon this summer.
For people driving for the holiday and beyond, DeHaan suggests shopping around at different gas stations for better prices. He also says that driving at cruise control just below the speed limit could actually help save you a gallon or two every time you fill up.
Checking Wall Street, stocks are starting the day higher. The Dow is currently up about 273 points at 50,558. S&P 500 up 50, and the Nasdaq is up 205.
Word for KIRO 7 is stars on your street in your home with a problem you're struggling to solve. That's where KIRO 7 Investigates comes in. They show up. They ask hard questions. They get you answers. When your story is seen, change isn't just possible. It's already happening. Watch KIRO 7 News weeknights 5 to 6:30 p.m. and at KIRO7.com/investigates.
6:39, Sully, what's coming up in traffic?
Well, we got a new crash to tell you about. This one's on southbound I-5 in the Lacey area. We'll break it down for you next.
The opening bell is brought to you by Legacy Group Capital Common Sense Lending.
They call this one Bill.
Whoa, aliens? Am I in a spaceship?
Affirmative, Bill.
What's with the laser saw?
Relax. We are cutting our bill in half.
What?
An Xfinity mobile transmission says you can cut your bill in half.
Oh, your mobile bill, not me, Bill.
Ah. Xfinity Mobile also says we can try it free for a year. Free.
Yes, with no commitment. Can we put the saw away?
I am reluctant. But we will find another being to bisect.
That's not sci-fi. It's Xfinity Mobile. Xfinity Internet members cut your mobile bill in half. Plus, try Xfinity Mobile free for a year. No commitment. Learn more at xfinitymobile.com. Xfinity. Imagine that. Restrictions apply. Xfinity Internet required. Savings compares one line of Xfinity Mobile Select to comparable plans from T-Mobile, Verizon, and AT&T as of 3/24/26. Taxes, fees, extra. $30 monthly discount limited to new mobile customers only. After 12 months, regular rates apply.
This is the story of the one. As a procurement manager for a hospital system, she keeps every facility in her network stocked and ready. That's why she counts on Grainger to be her single source for thousands of products, from disinfectants to lighting, air filters, and more. And with fast, dependable delivery, Grainger helps her keep every facility stocked, safe, and running smoothly. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
At University of Maryland Global Campus, we know you're no stranger to setting big goals, whether in school, at work, or in life, and you're ready for more. At UMGC, we offer the skills-based education you need to move your career forward. Learn how to apply AI, data science, and other emerging tech, plus gain skills in leadership and critical thinking. You've come far. Succeed again. No application fee if you apply by June 1st. Learn more at umgc.edu. Certified to operate in Virginia by Chev.
The Kendall Memorial Day sales event is on now at Kendall Chevrolet of Marysville. Get in on the Memorial Day deals with special APR offers and some fantastic new lease offers on new Chevy trucks and SUVs. Shop a great selection of Silverado trucks and take advantage of special 2.9% APR for up to 72 months. Now available on all new 2026 Silverado 1500 models. It's also Chevrolet Military Appreciation Month. Qualifying active duty military and veterans can receive an additional $2,000 off MSRP on all new 2026 Chevy models. Chevy, together let's drive. Kick off summer with incredible Memorial Day savings. But don't wait. These deals end Sunday the 31st. Stop by Kendall Chevrolet of Marysville today. Kendall. Let's start something great.
2.9% APR for up to 72 months, but $14.75 for every $1,000 borrowed. Zero down, all financing and approved credit. Prices listed do not include taxes, title, or license. Subject to prior sales. See dealer for details. Offer expires 6/126.
6:43 now. We check in with Chris Sullivan for traffic.
Well, if you're already heading out of town, say heading south trying to get to the coast, we've got a problem on southbound I-5 in Lacey, just south of the Cabela's. We've got a crash involving multiple cars, including what looks to be a flatbed semi. Most of the cars are off to the shoulder and look to be okay, but one of them is pretty well banged up and sitting in the grassy median with a bunch of people sitting around it. Left lane is blocked at this point. When the fire trucks show up, we'll probably end up blocking more than that, but we're already backed up about 2 miles, even at this early hour going that direction. So plan on about a 10-minute delay and growing on southbound I-5 as you make your way from Marvin Road down past Carpenter Road. Again, this is just south of the Cabela's. Going the other direction, not much of a looky-loose slowdown, which is great. A lot of the action is kind of blocked by the median and the trees there, if you're familiar with it, so that's positive. We're only 35 minutes up to Tacoma. Federal way to Seattle, still under 40. We're under 40 up the valley as well. The Renton S-curves have started to see just a little bit of slowing up towards SR 900. All in all, 20 minutes to get you to Bellevue. Coming down from the north end, about 40 minutes from Everett to Seattle or Bellevue with the brake lights right where you would expect them. For I-405, it's really just centered right around 522 at this point. For I-5, it's the forced merge in Northgate. today. KIRO News Radio real-time traffic. I'm Chris Sullivan.
Beautiful way to head into the weekend. It's going to be sunny and 77 today. Tomorrow you'll see some clouds early on, but sunshine for the afternoon. That'll keep us a little bit cooler, 73. Around 70 on Sunday. Still no rain until Monday, Memorial Day. Rainy, breezy, and much cooler, about 59 Monday. Right now in Seattle, sun's coming up. It's a beautiful morning, 54 degrees.
Coming up, KIRO News Radio's James Lynch with this week's Cold Case Project. A look at the unsolved murder of a 25-year-old from Tukwila. That's on the way on Seattle's Morning News.
It started as a puddle.
Where?
In the shower.
Uh-oh.
Then the kitchen sink.
Started backing up?
Yeah.
I know where this is going.
Clogged up.
Right. No problem.
Beg your pardon?
There's no clog we can't clear.
You're Dan.
From Apollo Plumbing.
This is going to get pricey.
How about $83?
To clear my drain?
Apollo Plumbing clears main drains every day.
For $83?
83 or it's free.
What's the catch?
No catch. We'll even do a camera inspection.
Why's that?
It's the best way to find the cause of your clog.
And it's included?
No extra charge. Truth is, we hate clogs.
I don't love them.
Seen them all.
Ew.
I promise, there's no clog Apollo can't clear.
Guaranteed.
83 or free.
Goodbye, slow drains.
All it takes is an accessible clean out.
And Apollo gets my drains draining again.
You call, we come, it's fixed.
My heroes.
Just doing our job.
Thank you, Apollo Plumbing.
ApolloPlumbing.com.
This is the story of the one. As a procurement manager for a hospital system, she keeps every facility in her network stocked and ready. That's why she counts on Grainger to be her single source for thousands of products, from disinfectants to lighting, air filters, and more. And with fast, dependable delivery, Grainger helps her keep every facility stocked, safe, and running smoothly. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
If the world were like a Sleep Number mattress, everything would adapt for your comfort. Because as your life changes and your body changes, Sleep Number mattresses adapt and shift to give you personalized comfort night after night. And now everything's on sale during our Memorial Day event. Save up to $1,200 on mattresses, plus free delivery when you add a base. Ends Monday. To experience a whole new world of comfort, visit a Sleep Number store or go to sleepnumber.com. Sleep Number, to a good life sleep.
Healthcare costs are rising, and a major driver is hospital prices. They've increased more than 250% over the past 25 years. Families and local businesses are feeling it. At Primera Blue Cross, we're working to change that by negotiating with hospitals to secure fair, responsible prices so you can get the care you need at a cost you can afford. That's coverage that counts. Learn more at coveragethatcounts.primera.com.
Keeping you informed since 1974. This is the city's longest-running radio news show.
Seattle's Morning News on KIRO News Radio.
6:47 now. Ashley Michael Mendiaz was just 25 years old when he was murdered in his Tukwila home on April 28, 2002.
His mother says he's been dead nearly as long as he lived, and yet his killer or killers remain free and unidentified. Mendiaz's unsolved murder is the focus of this week's Cold Case Project.
Here's KIRO News Radio's James Lynch.
Ashley Michael Diaz calls the police at 2:30 in the morning, says he's been shot. Police show up, and before he expires, he tells the police that there was more than one assailant, and they ruled it a home invasion robbery. And that's all they know. Here we are 24 years later.
They thought it was a home invasion, and eventually learned that it was pot related, that they felt he knew where someone had pot planted and that he had taken some of them, and they came to get it. So they believe it's someone he knew.
Althea Clark is Ashley's mom.
There was 4 or 5 people there. They went in the house. They beat him up. They shot him in the leg, and then they shot him in his stomach, and he bled to death, basically.
The pain of the loss of her son has at times been unbearable.
We grew up together because I was 19 when I had him.
Mendiaz was a son, a brother, an uncle, a friend to many, and he was also a military veteran who survived deployment in the Gulf War, only to be gunned down less than a year after he returned home.
Very ironic. You go into service, you know you're risking possibility of not surviving that, and then to come home and be killed here was cruel.
Tips have been called in from time to time over the years, but nothing solid.
We're hoping that something like this will refresh somebody's memory. There's $1,000 reward for Crime Stoppers on this for an arrest and a charge of the people responsible. So someone in the neighborhood might remember something that they could pass on to us that we could give the Tukwila PD. And like I always say, somebody knows who did this. The crooks told somebody knows something. So let's get these people into custody.
Clark says she doesn't seek revenge. She just wants an answer. Why did Ashley have to die?
I've always felt like he would have forgiven them if he had lived. He would have forgiven them, and therefore I forgive them. But I would like to know why.
If you can help get the family answers, call Crime Stoppers at 800-222-TIPS. There's a $1,000 reward, and you can remain anonymous. That number again, 800-222-TIPS. For the Cold Case Project, James Lynch, KIRO News Radio.
You can check that out on mynorthwest.com, pictures, and these are video reports as well. Some really well-done stuff from James. It's 6:51.
On a lighter note, a big TV goodbye from a late-night funny man.
This show has been a joy for us to do for you.
After 11 years of hosting The Late Show on CBS, Stephen Colbert signed off after disappointing a few celebrity audience members.
I'm just curious when our interview starts. I have an extremely long poem I want to recite, and I don't want to run out of time.
Paul Rudd stormed out. So did Tim Meadows and Bryan Cranston.
Maybe I could be your last guest. The thing is that we already have a pretty special one lined up.
The guy who got the honors?
Hey, Steve, what about me?
Paul McCartney, who invited Stephen to join him for a musical farewell. The former Beatle turned out the lights at the Ed Sullivan Theater for good. Deborah Rodriguez, CBS News, New York.
McCartney gifted Colbert a framed color photo of the Beatles on the Ed Sullivan Show at the theater from 1964. Stephen said the Pope canceled on him last night because the hot dogs were bad.
Also, on that episode, he joked about the jobs being offered to him after The Late Show.
Asking me what I plan to do after tonight, and the answer is drugs. But here's the thing. I just found this out. This just came out, right? The National Marine Mammal Foundation in my beloved home state of South Carolina has a slightly different idea. Thank you. Because down there, they put up this billboard saying, wanted former Late Show host burdened by whale-related childhood ambition. It's actually one of a series of billboards targeted at me from the Marine Mammal Foundation. And I got to say, it is really flattering to be considered. You know, and it's one of the only billboards in South Carolina that doesn't say, repent now, Bible is real, dial 1-800-HELL4U, Cracker Barrel in 2 exits.
That's not the only goodbye we're dealing with today. Today's the last broadcasting day for CBS News Radio.
CBS News Radio brought the world to American homes.
Now here's Douglas Edwards.
Eventually carried on 700 affiliates. Allison Keyes took listeners to Lower Manhattan on 9/11.
I can hardly breathe. It looks like a nuclear war happens here.
I want the listeners to know how proud and honored I am to have worked for this amazing place with these amazing people.
They lived up to the Murrow tradition. CBS News Radio. Good night and good luck.
And the one and only Dave Ross is going to join us at 7:15 to talk about the legacy of CBS News Radio.
Looking forward to that. 6:53 now. Let's check in with Sully for traffic.
Got about a 2-mile backup now on southbound I-5 trying to make your way through Lacey into Olympia. So if you're getting an early start to head down to the beach and that's your route, run into it about a 15-minute delay. The left lane is blocked as you get just south of Cabela's. There are a couple of different cars involved, but the biggest one seems to have the most damage, ended up in the grassy median, and there are a bunch of people standing around and just a few emergency vehicles there. Either way, we're looking at, as I said, about a 2-mile backup. There is a little bit of a looky-loose slowdown in the northbound direction, but it's not too bad. So if you're going from Tacoma down to Olympia, give yourself about 45 minutes. If you're going the other direction, it's only 35 from to Olympia to Tacoma. Federal Way to Seattle's not too bad. We're under 40 minutes with a pretty easy drive past the West Seattle Bridge, and really not much from Federal Way to to South Center. Valley freeways, not bad at all, under 40, just kind of heavy at the north end. The Renton S-curves are starting to heat up a little bit, thanks to Countess, who's out there driving people around this morning, and a little bit of breaking up past the VMAC as well. But overall, 25 minutes or less to go from Renton to Bellevue, so not bad. Lake bridges are fine, and we're under 40 from Everett to Seattle or Bellevue, so we're off to a very good start out of the north end. I think you guys deserve it. It's been a very rough week coming down from Everett and then through Linwood down to Seattle or Bellevue. This report brought to you by Global Credit Union, where members enjoy no-fee accounts at early payday with direct deposit. You can learn more at globalcu.org.
Our day is off to a very good start weather-wise, too. Mostly sunny, warming up to 77 as we wrap up the week. For tomorrow, morning clouds, afternoon sunshine, 73. Sunday, increasing clouds, but still a dry day, 70. Monday's not going to be dry, I'm afraid. Looks like rainy and breezy for Memorial Day and a high of only 59. Right now in Seattle, the sun is shining. It's 54 degrees.
Remember, you can always text the show. The Muckleshoot Casino Resort text line is 888-973-5476.
Coming up in the next hour, KIRO News Radio's Luke Ducey has more on a shooting on a Metro bus in Auburn.
And we'll take a look back at the legacy of CBS News Radio. Our friend and broadcast legend, Dave Ross, joins us live right here on Seattle's Morning News at 7:15.
KIRO News Radio, where you turn for the news you depend on.
KIRO News Radio's Luke Ducey is here with more.
24% of businesses are now thinking about leaving Washington.
Traffic.
We are definitely seeing some slowing through the S-curves.
Conversation.
We build it, we produce it, we charge for it.
And your Super Bowl champion Seahawks.
A one-hander! Are you kidding me?
Broadcasting live from the KIRO News Radio YouTube channel. KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM.
This is Congresswoman Marilyn Strickland. I'm working to lower costs, grow the middle class, keep us safe, and defend our freedom. I'm also here to help you with the IRS, Social Security, Medicare, the VA, passports, and more. We've recovered over $16 million for taxpayers and look forward to helping you. Call me at 360-459-8514 or visit strickland.house.gov.
Paid for by official funds authorized by the House of Representatives.
You could sleep through the night without thinking twice. You could take a seat in the middle of the theater. You could drive without worry of where the next restroom is. You used to say yes, and somewhere along the way, you stopped. Not because of one big moment, because of 100 small ones. A little more urgency, one more trip to the bathroom at 2 a.m., one more mental note about where the restroom is. It happened slowly enough that it just became you. But it's not you. It's enlarged prostate, and there's a treatment called aquablation therapy, the only ultrasound-guided robotic-assisted therapy for enlarged prostate. Find an aquablation therapist near you. Call Aquablation Seattle at 206-666-2466, 206-666-2466. That's 206-666-2466. All surgical treatments carry risks, and results may vary. Side effects may include urinary symptoms, mild pain, ejaculatory dysfunction, or infection. In rare cases, complications to the urethra and rectum may occur. Aquablation therapy may not be right for everyone. Talk to your urologist to learn more. Visit aquablationseattle.com.
Rick was experiencing some pain in his knee.
Once I retired and really just golfed constantly, I think it kind of exacerbated.
It was getting to be too much for him.
It got to the point where I just almost couldn't sleep. I wanted to try anything to avoid surgery.
So instead, he decided to see Dr. Mark Wagner, MD, at Seattle Sports and Regenerative Medicine for stem cell therapy.
Yeah, I talked to him and he said, well, Rick, it's a new knee or we do the stem cell.
Since the procedure, Rick is back doing what he loves to do.
Here I am, golfing and enjoying it.
And now it's not just his knee. Rick has had stem cell treatment for both of his shoulders, his hip, and...
He did my thumbs.
So whether it's a hip like I had or a shoulder, knee, and thumb like Rick, before choosing surgery, see Dr. Mark Wagner first. He's the most experienced in the Northwest with over 20,000 stem cell procedures. Go to drmarkwagnermd.com.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack. Sure, you can post your job to some job board, but then all you can do is hope the right person comes along, which is why you should try ZipRecruiter for free at ziprecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter doesn't depend on candidates finding you. It finds them for you. Its powerful technology identifies people with the right experience and actively invites them to apply to your job. You get qualified candidates fast. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you what you're looking for. The needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free. That's right, free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. That's ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter.com/radio.
ZipRecruiter. Carter Subaru is Seattle's only Subaru dealer with the largest selection of Subarus in Washington. With over 800 vehicles in stock, they have exactly what you're looking for with savings you'll love. Visit Carter Subaru in Shoreline and Ballard or anytime at cartersubaru.com.
Your best source for local news. KIRO Newsradio, KIRO FM and HD1, Tacoma, Seattle, Northwest News.
This is CBS News on the Hour, your home for original reporting.
I'm Deborah Rodriguez. The public risk from an Ebola outbreak overseas has just been upgraded.
The head of the World Health Organization says Ebola is spreading rapidly in the Congo.
There are now almost 750 suspected cases and 177 suspected deaths.
But measures taken in Uganda appear to be helping in preventing the further spread of the virus there. He says an American national working in the DRC has been confirmed positive and taken to Germany for care.
We're also aware of another American national who has been transferred to the Czech Republic.
Stacey Lynn, CBS News.
Pushback on Capitol Hill over potential taxpayer-funded payouts to President Trump's allies, who claim they were wronged by the Biden administration. Correspondent Ed O'Keefe is at the White House.
The nearly $1.8 billion fund created by the Justice Department to compensate people who say they were targeted by government actions is drawing intense pushback from Democrats.
This administration is acting as if the American people are their ATM.
And now a growing number of Republicans, like North Carolina Senator Tom Tillis, who calls the fund, quote, a payout pot for punks.
A possible clue into the death of a racing legend, Fox NASCAR, with the sound of Kyle Busch asking for medical attention 2 weeks ago.
And can somebody try to find Bill Heisel? He's the Hendrick doctor guy. Tell him I need him after the race, please. Hey, do you want Mr. Bill at your car and at your bus after the race? Bus. I'm going to need a shot.
He told reporters later he had a substantial cough. He told Fox this past Sunday.
Why do these moments never get old, Kyle?
Because you never know when the last one is.
Bush died yesterday at the age of 41. After 99 years, we're turning out the lights for good here at CBS News Radio tonight. World News Roundup anchor Steve Kathan sat down with CBS's Mark Strassman.
What do you think America will miss most about it? It's been around for a long time. Really, an American institution is what we're losing here. And I think people will notice that.
It's been a reliable companion for generations. Now this American institution will lose its voice.
Now credit where credit is overdue. My copy editor's been the incomparable Matt Cherry. On assignment, the amazing Patricia Corrigan. Desk associate who's made everything possible, Maggie Pecknick. My gratitude to each and every one of you. And for one last time, this is CBS News Radio.
I want to know what's going on in the world.
I'm Tony.
There are big questions that all of us are asking. I want to get you the answers.
How are you?
I'm Tony DeCopel. Join me on the CBS Evening News.
Well, that was sad.
Yeah, reality is sinking in.
Yeah. Best to Deborah Rodriguez and whatever her future holds. We're going to be speaking with Dave Ross in about 12 minutes about the legacy of CBS News Radio. First, though, we need to get a check on traffic. Here's Chris Sullivan.
And we're running about 10 minutes behind on southbound I-5 as you make your way through Lacey because of this crash just south of the Cabela's. We've got a car in the ditch in the median on the left-hand side. So all in all, we are looking at about a 45-minute trip from Tacoma to Olympia. 2-mile back up there. There is a little northbound distraction slowdown to deal with, but not bad. Going that direction northbound from Olympia to Tacoma is only 35. Federal Way to Seattle, we're running under 40 minutes. We're under 40 up the valley, so that's great. The Renton S-curves are a little active, and you have some meandering breaking up past SR 900, maybe kind of extending to 44th, but after that, not bad. Coming down from the north end, still under 40 minutes from Everett to Seattle or Bellevue, and nothing from Arlington down through Linwood really as well. Looking across the lake, no problems on I-90 or on 520. This report brought to you by D.R. Horton. Looking for the best deal on a new home? Discover the D.R. Horton Home of the Week. Visit drhorton.com. Schedule a tour today. D.R. Horton, America's builder and equal housing opportunity builder.
Now, the latest from KIRO Newsradio and MyNorthwest.com.
Live from East Lake Avenue.
You're listening to Charlie Harger and Manda Factor, Seattle's morning news.
Good morning. It's 7:04. Auburn police are searching for a suspect who shot a teenager on a bus.
KIRO News Radio's Luke Ducey is here with more on the shooting and where it happened.
And here is what Auburn investigators are telling KIRO 7 TV.
As of right now, I'm going to say he was just shot at least one time. And he was communicating with us on scene prior to being taken to the hospital.
That hospital is Harborview Medical Center, where the victim was listed last in stable condition. If you're watching on the YouTube feed right now, we do have some maps of where this happened. At 9:30 last night, on board a Metro bus traveling through 29th Street Southeast and M Street Southeast in Auburn. That's right next to the Church of the Nazarene, if you know where that is. As for the motive in this crime,
we believe that there's at least one suspect involved in this. We also do not think this was a random attack. We do believe that the people involved knew each other, so we don't necessarily think there's a threat to the community.
There has been gang-related violence in that area in the past. Police said on Facebook they had a canine tracking that area for the suspect last night right after that shooting. No arrests reported yet from Auburn police. We will, of course, keep you updated throughout the morning. Charlie, Manda.
Luke Ducey reporting live. 7:05 now.
Tacoma police arrested a man yesterday in connection with a missing persons case from April. Friends reported a woman missing April 1st. Detectives quickly focused on an adult male suspect. They arrested him first on identity theft and harassment, then upgraded the case to murder, even though the woman's body has not been found. Here's Tacoma police officer Shelby Boyd.
As long as you meet your elements of your crime, that's what they needed. And so they were able to obtain that, and prosecutor's office was on board.
The suspect is now booked on a first-degree murder charge while the search for the missing woman continues.
King County Prosecutor's Office has released surveillance video from the laundry room where 31-year-old Christopher Leahy allegedly killed 19-year-old Juniper Blessing on May 10th. The medical examiner says she was stabbed more than 40 times. We get the latest now from KIRO News Radio's James Lynch.
Surveillance video from the Nordheim Court Apartments laundry room shows Leahy entering behind a young woman who actually holds the door for him. They both leave, and later in the video, Juniper can be seen sitting on the laundry room floor. Leahy then re-enters, looks directly at the camera, and walks out before the video ends. Prosecutors allege he unplugged the camera before the assault. That video is available if you want to see it at mynorthwest.com. James Lynch, KIRO News Radio.
A school superintendent is accused of covering up student sexual assaults. We get more from KIRO News Radio's Jillian Raftery.
Police in Longview say Superintendent Karen Cloninger knew about a series of sexual assaults involving basketball players as early as January, but didn't report them to law enforcement. Investigators contacted her in February when they heard rumors on social media. Even then, they say Cloninger claimed the school had investigated and it was handled internally. Police say multiple staff members expressed concerns and were told not to talk about the assaults. Detectives ultimately arrested 2 students. They say at least one more administrator is complicit in the cover-up. Jillian Raftery for KIRO News Radio.
Seattle's morning news on KIRO News Radio.
It's 7:08.
Glad to have you here with us. Friday.
I was just going to say, more important, it's Friday.
And for so many, it's Memorial Day weekend. You'll get Monday off. Not Manda and me, though. We'll be here bright and early Monday morning. So if you're a worker like we are, be sure to tune us in on Monday.
No place I'd rather be.
Yeah, of course not. Of course not. Right next to my pal, Sully. You'll be here.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, prepping my choke point for Tuesday.
Nice, nice.
Which is a biggie.
The people demanded. What's the choke point? Can you give us a preview?
Big changes coming to Montlake.
Oh.
On 5/20 next weekend. Big changes.
Okay.
Look forward to hearing all about it.
Yeah.
Producer David Burbank is with us in the studio, and Ian Douglas is running the board this morning and picking the music.
Well, coming up on this hour of this show, we're going to take a look back at the relationship between CBS News Radio and KIRO News Radio with the help of our friend Dave Ross.
What's coming up in the 7:35 commentary?
I'm going to talk about what a loss this is. CBS News Radio going away after 99 years.
It's 7:09. Pressure is growing on Seattle city leaders to address the crime along Aurora Avenue. Community members have sent multiple requests to the mayor, police, and city council saying they are fed up. We get more from KIRO 7 TV's Ranji Sinha.
Bullets flying by homes, in one case right through the bedroom of a baby, and school children walking by bullet casings. Rudy Pantoja says he's seen it all.
Then all of a sudden you got gunfire going off. You hear them screaming.
Sarah catches the bus here often. Her demands are spelled out in the letter calling out city leaders.
They need to have a lot more squad cars out here. There's shootings here like every night now.
In a blog post yesterday, Councilmember Deborah Juarez outlined steps the city is taking. Councilmember Bob Kettle said his office is actively monitoring the situation on the North Aurora corridor. And Mayor Katie Wilson says police are developing immediate plans for more officers there on emphasis patrols.
Seattle City Council president is asking for 2 Seattle police officers to be present at every council meeting. SPD confirmed the request as the department is already hundreds of officers understaffed. Former Council President Sarah Nelson spoke to the Jason Ranch Show on Seattle Red 770 AM.
When I count up the hours of council meetings in a week, that's a lot of hours that those scarce officers will be not doing something else.
SPD says it will first try to fill the positions with volunteer officers on overtime. We've reached out to the current council president, Joy Hollingsworth, for comment.
All lanes of Highway 18 are open again this morning after a deadly crash between Covington and Maple Valley yesterday. State Patrol Trooper Rick Johnson posted on X that one driver was killed in a multi-car collision right near Highway 169. At least 3 vehicles were involved. One person airlifted to Harborview in serious condition. 2 others were taken to hospitals with serious injuries. Troopers believe a wrong-way driver may have been to blame.
State Senator calling on Governor Ferguson to temporarily suspend the state's Climate Commitment Act, saying it's driving up already high gas prices tied to the Iran war. Republican Chris Gildon says Washington drivers are paying about $1.20 more per gallon than the national average.
Everything in Washington state is uniquely expensive, whether it's housing or childcare, but especially gas.
Gildon estimates pausing the program could save drivers more than 50 cents a gallon. Supporters say the CCA is critical to the state's climate goals. We've reached out to the governor's office for comment.
Police believe they have caught a serial mail thief in Snohomish County. KIRO 7 TV's Jason Sloss reports the man made his first court appearance yesterday.
Police believe he targeted mailboxes in Stanwood, Marysville, and Arlington, then used victims' personal information to access bank accounts and buy stuff. This is an investigation involving multiple agencies, but Linwood PD tells me they arrested the suspect just last month for DUI, and that arrest led to the discovery of more evidence.
Police say there may be more than 100 victims. Formal charges are expected to be filed today.
Time for a bear bulletin now. Heads up if you're heading to Mount Rainier. The park says part of the Wonderland Trail temporarily closed because of unusual bear activity. Now, I'm not sure if it's the activity or if the bears are unusual. The closure runs between Norada Falls Road and Stevens Canyon Road. Rangers say if you come across a black bear on the trail, never run, back away slowly. If it comes at you, shout. Try to look as big as possible.
Got it. It's 7:12. Time for a check on the weather. It'd be a nice day to go for a hike. KIRO 7 TV meteorologist Nick Allard is with us. Nick?
And by hike, do you mean like hide inside on the couch away from the kids, like quietly in the dark?
That's exactly what I mean.
Just hoping for a nap. Not that's not at all what I do, but doesn't that sound nice?
Yeah.
We're looking for beautiful sunshine today. Absolutely gorgeous. Any place that has any fog now remaining is on the way out. It's clearing. It's going to be really nice. So go for highs in the upper 70s today and lower 80s. It looks really, really beautiful. And expect to find the same kinds of conditions tomorrow, except tomorrow, you have low clouds to start the day, and then sunshine after lunchtime, which means you'll cool off to the low 70s. I still have us, even though average is about 68, 69, depending on where you live, I still have us at 70 on Sunday. It's just that you have a lot of clouds throughout the day. High clouds will increase, and I don't think you see more than filtered sunshine or sun breaks, but still a nice day. And dry until early Monday when rain increases. So let's say you're leaving the campground in I don't know, the Cascades or the foothills, maybe say, 9 a.m. on Monday, you might still get out of there dry before the rain really picks up, because you'll probably pick up about a quarter of an inch or more with some breezy weather and highs dropping down to 59. So I would say you're packing up early, or you're tarp camping and dealing with the rain, because it's going to stick around for most of Monday. So I would say try to get out there early if you can.
Do you know anyone who's camping this weekend?
Normally I would be.
You would be?
But I'm working Monday.
Oh, that's right. Okay.
Yeah, I don't really know anybody anyway.
For some reason, we always talk
about
about
busy,
camping.
or what are you doing this weekend? You guys want to hang, or
we should go camping?
You're like, yeah, what's that over there? And runs away.
Yep.
All right. Right now, sunshine and 54. Thanks, Nick.
Time now to check traffic. Chris Sullivan is standing by at the traffic desk.
And we have cleared the crash on southbound I-5 in the Lacey area, just south of the Cabela's. There's still a lot of action on the left and right shoulders, but the far left lane has reopened. Back to about 40 minutes from Tacoma to Olympia. We have about 35 minutes from Olympia to Tacoma going the other way, the primary commuting route. There's a little distraction, slow down there, but nothing you can't handle. And then Federal Way to Seattle's running under 40 minutes. The heaviest brake lights there right at the merge at the West Seattle Bridge. Valley Freeway under 40 minutes as well. Renton to Bellevue is about 25. Lake bridges are still in very good shape. Coming down from the north end, no real issues. A slight hesitation by the Mill Creek interchange. A little bit getting through the Forest Merge at Northgate. Some in Canyon Park, but 40 minutes from Everett to Seattle or Everett to Bellevue. That's a good day. This report brought to you by Wilcox Farms. For a convenient, healthy snack on the go, look for ready-to-eat Wilcox hard-boiled eggs. Find Wilcox eggs at Costco, Metro Market, Safeway, and other local grocers.
News matters. Experience counts. You're listening to Charlie Harger and Manda Factor, Seattle's morning news.
It is 7:15. We have been talking about this all week. In fact, since we heard the news a month ago, today is the official final day of CBS News Radio.
Now, KIRO Radio has a long, storied relationship with CBS, and a big part of that history is former Seattle's morning news host Dave Ross. Dave joins us now. Dave, thanks for coming on with us. I know it's early for you this morning. What was your initial reaction when you heard about the news?
Well, I was disappointed, of course, because I spent 27 years doing commentary for them, and now all my awards are going to be outdated. But no, CBS was probably my favorite network growing up. As a teenager, I wrote a letter and got to sit in at WCBS and watch Charles Osgood reading the news in New York City. And of course, we did a number of broadcasts from the broadcast center when I was doing my talk show. So yeah, it's sad.
CBS is not the only network, but what made it so special? It's different.
I guess the people, of course, the Edward R. Murrow and its reputation for international news coverage. Usually back in the days when we were doing broadcasts from around the world, we would hook up with the CBS Bureau, whether it was in Rome for a papal visit that I covered in 1982, or France when we did a remote there. You could go to the Bureau and, of course, file your stories. And I remember the trips to the broadcast center, you'd be walking around and you're in the stairwell, and there's Andy Rooney coming upstairs as you're going downstairs, or Dan Rather's over there. And it just was, for me, a storied place to work. And of course, the great thing about CBS was when I started doing commentaries, finally my dad, commuting back and forth in New York City, could hear that his son was actually making a gainful living at radio. So it does have a special place for me.
Can you talk about what CBS means to KIRO Radio over the years?
Well, it was just the authority that went with the letter CBS, I think, was a great asset to any radio station, because you knew at the top of the hour when you heard that little bong that you were going to hear news from some of the best journalists out there who, at the height of the network, were reporting firsthand from all over the world. You weren't just, calling local sources on the phone and hoping you'd get somebody authoritative. You had a correspondent who was there, who had been to the battle zone, who had been to the summit conference, et cetera, and knew what they were talking about. And I think that kind of credibility is very important, especially now.
Dave, earlier this morning, we aired the final broadcast of the World News Roundup, and that was must-listen radio.
That I didn't hear, unfortunately, but I do remember when Douglas Edwards, who I believe began the broadcast, one of the earliest anchors, came to KIRO to talk to us and get to know us, and I was also impressed by that. He has a big role in broadcast history. But I hear that you're converting to ABC now, huh?
Isn't that strange?
It's going to be very strange tossing to ABC, and they're a great network, of course. But CBS is just so ingrained in the DNA of KIRO. It's going to take a little getting used to.
Well, the KIRO history exhibit downstairs, if it's still there,
yep,
it is.
Of course, has all the CBS shows that KIRO used to carry. So it does. It goes way back. Oh, I will say, my first paying job in radio at WVIP in Mount Kisco, New York, they were an ABC affiliate, American Information Radio. I'm Doug Poling. So they had some pretty deep voices there, too.
Dave, first of all, happy grandfather time. I miss working with you, my man. For me, I've never worked anywhere else but a CBS affiliate. I worked down at KXL in Portland. My dad always, that top of the hour thing was very important to us, going back and forth to football games. As we talk about other networks, what was it about CBS that gave it that? Was it the fact that they were the first, that they basically created this entire industry? That's what it always seemed to me was. You're talking to the gold standard, the people who created what it is that we did. Do you feel that same way?
No, I think that's absolutely right. And the reputation, at least in my memory, was created during. I wasn't alive during World War II, but in all the history I've read, it was World War II and Edward R. Murrow's reports from London and all over the world. And the World News Roundup was, I believe, the first broadcast of its kind to try to coordinate. I mean, it's old hat now. But back in the day, you communicated with New York by shortwave radio, and you had to coordinate that on an exact time basis. And this was the first time that they actually had to create the equipment to be able to bring in these sources from all over the world at the right time at the broadcast center in New York, and then of course send it across the nation. But that was the thing that made radio, I believe, because people were glued to their radios knowing that they were hearing live reports from D-Day, from London, from Italy, from wherever the battle was happening. And CBS, once again, that reputation, built on that reputation, and created network radio as we used to know it. Now I remember the first time I started sending in my commentaries via email, instead of having to do the satellite hookup. And I said, oh, this is going to change everything. Sure did.
You mentioned sitting next to Charles Osgood. You filled in for what, 20 years doing your iconic commentaries. How did that come about?
Well, interesting. He used to have regular fill-ins, and I thought that the people who filled in just did straight news. They didn't try to do any of the poetry or the creativity. And so I've been freelancing for the Associated Press, doing some of my arts broadcasts that I did for KIRO, and sort of sold them to Associated Press to make extra money. Man.
Chip Talk.
Back in those days. Chip Talk, right? So I wrote to a guy named Bob Sims, who was program director at KNX. I said, did you guys ever consider, just having somebody who does what I do sub for Charles Osgood? And he must have put in a good word, because I got a call from Phil Chin, his producer, and said, hey, how'd you like to sub for Charles Osgood? And I said, a little nervously, oh, sure, no problem. Of course, in that time I was doing a talk show from 9 to noon, and of course he was on East Coast time. His first piece went up, I think, 4 a.m, or whatever it was. I had to get in at midnight. We would hook up. I would write the stuff. We'd have to insert the actuality there back in New York, and then when I was done with that shift, I would go back and do the talk show, and we had to make sure there was a satellite feed set up. So you had to move plugs around and whatever it was, and it was thrilling, but it was scary. What we almost did not make the deadline for doing the tape. He said, well, if this take doesn't work, Dave, you're doing it live. In the old Bill O'Reilly School of Broadcasting. So I do remember those days. They liked my approach enough that they said, why don't you do your own commentary? And so I did. And 27 years later, it ended. But it was a good 27 years.
And Dave, weren't you also doing a local commentary at the time, too?
Yeah. Well,
so, do you know how long it takes to write a commentary? Are you crazy?
Too bad, Charlie. That's your life now. I'm finally meeting my wife for the first time.
I'm sitting at my kid's baseball game yesterday. I'm furiously typing one out on my iPhone. It's all consuming.
That's it. That's what it is. And then you type it out and you say, now, is this fact really correct? I better go check that out again.
Before we let you go, does the end of CBS Radio signal something about the state of the news media here in this country?
Well, I mean, the rise of the Internet signaled the end of the news media, as we talked about in many staff meetings. People already know the news. So now we've got to talk about it. We can't just give it to them. They're not tuning in to see what happened. They already know what happened. They want to know what people think about it. And I think the one thing that radio can still do, or broadcast radio can still do, nobody else does, is to create a shared experience for a city, like a network used to do for the nation. It was just everybody watched, Milton Berle and Jack Parr on a certain night. And you could all talk about the same thing the next morning. Broadcast radio is still uniquely suited to do that, cover things live in a way that everybody hears at the same time, and knit people together. And I hope radio can still do that. But with all the alternatives, all the pre-recorded canned alternatives available, from podcasts to just audio or email, it is difficult to do that, except like on Super Bowl Sunday. That's the one time everybody's tuned in to the same thing at the same time.
Well, Dave, it's always great talking to you. Unfortunately, I could have talked all morning, but Manda is a stickler for time, and she says we need to get to traffic.
Yeah.
Dave, thanks so much.
You don't want to be late with traffic. You bet. Good to talk to you guys again.
All right,
Anytime.
take care.
Sully, take it away.
So far, so good. Right now, we're doing okay on this Friday. Now that we've cleared the crash on southbound I-5 getting out of Lacey, right by the Cabela's, the backup's going away, so that's not bad. Rest of the map, just a little bit of red here and there. Federal Way to Seattle's 40 up the valley as well. Renton to Bellevue's under 25. Coming down from the north end, a little over 45, a little over 40 from Everett to Bellevue, and about 40 from Everett to Seattle. This report brought to you by the Harnish Auto family. Super sale now all through May 31st. Exclusive deals, 0 down, 0 payments all summer on approval of credit. Pellip and Everett, Harnish Auto family, where people matter.
This hour is brought to you by CM Heating.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Welcome to Markdowns for Miles at AutoZone.
Got any markdowns on brakes?
We mark Duralast brake pads down to free.
Free Duralast brake pads?
When you buy 2 rotors.
Can I get Duralast Gold pads for free?
With 2 Duralast Gold rotors, and there's a lifetime warranty on brake pads.
That's a huge markdown for so many miles.
Save on brakes and more during Markdowns for Miles at AutoZone.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Restrictions apply.
Progressive knows it ain't easy navigating the open plains of home insurance, but there is one man who can help tame that wild herd of options. The Home Quote Explorer.
Note, Progressive's Home Quote Explorer is not a real person, but an online tool that lets you compare home insurance.
He's the type of fella who helps you decide on the right insurance, even if it ain't with him.
Again, not a person, just an online tool that helps you find great home coverage.
A real pioneer.
Okay, fine. Just do the thing. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and third-party insurers. Comparison rates not available in all states or situations.
Hey, it's G. Scott. Let's talk real for a sec. Summer is supposed to be about sunshine and kids having fun. But when the kids are home all day, that grocery bill, it grow fast. That's why I want you to know about Sunbucks and why our friends at Safeway are helping get the word out. If your family qualifies, you can receive $120 per child to spend on groceries this summer, food in your cart, and a little less pressure on that budget. And let me be clear about this. There's no catch, no judgment. This program is simply about making sure kids have enough to eat when school is out. Here's the important part. Many families are enrolled automatically, and a card may already be headed to your mailbox. But some families do need to apply depending on income and where you live. So take a couple minutes and check. Visit freesummermeals.org. That's freesummermeals.org. Safeway, looking out for your family this summer. Once again, that's freesummermeals.org.
Around here, we see a lot of people head out. No matter where they're going, we just help make sure they're ready. Before you hit the road, get a pre-trip safety check from Les Schwab Tires. It's free. Plus, this May, save up to $200 on select sets of 4 tires, including all-terrain, highway, all-season, and all-weather. So go ahead, explore with confidence. Les Schwab Tires. We're here to help you take the long way. Limited time offer while supplies last. See leschwab.com/sale for details.
Healthcare costs are rising, and a major driver is hospital prices. They've increased more than 250% over the past 25 years. Families and local businesses are feeling it. At Primera Blue Cross, we're working to change that by negotiating with hospitals to secure fair, responsible prices so you can get the care you need at a cost you can afford. That's coverage that counts. Learn more at coveragethatcounts.primera.com.
Your medication for enlarged prostate is working. That's what you tell yourself. You're up 3 times a night instead of 5. The urgency is manageable. The stream's not great, but it's fine. That's the problem. Fine. Enlarged prostate, or BPH, doesn't pause because the medication takes the edge off. The prostate keeps growing. The bladder keeps working harder. And over time, those changes can be harder to reverse. But surgery? Not for you, right? Aquablation is not the surgery you're picturing. It's the only ultrasound-guided, robotic-assisted therapy for enlarged prostate. Don't wait until things become unbearable. Find an Aquablation urologist near you. Call Aquablation Seattle at 206-666-2466. 206-666-2466. That's 206-666-2466. All surgical treatments carry risks, and results may vary. Side effects may include urinary symptoms, mild pain, ejaculatory dysfunction, or infection. In rare cases, complications to the urethra and rectum may occur. Aquablation therapy may not be right for everyone. Talk to your urologist to learn more. Visit aquablationseattle.com.
When you're hiring, have you ever felt like you're missing out on meeting truly great candidates for your roles? It seems impossible to find them, but they have to be out there somewhere, right? Well, they're not hard to find when you know where to go, and that place is ZipRecruiter. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter helps 10 million people with their job search every day. And because these people are actively looking for jobs just like yours, it's easy to find the right person right away. In fact, 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. But if you're not using ZipRecruiter, you're missing out. So see what it's like when the impossible is easy. When you go to ZipRecruiter.com/radio right now to try ZipRecruiter for free. Once again, that's ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter.com/radio. Never miss out on great candidates with ZipRecruiter.
We are all about your experience.
We are
Subaru
of Puyallup, your
stress-free
dealership.
Treat yourself to a stress-free car buying experience with Subaru of Puyallup, your stress-free dealership.
Now, the latest from KIRO Newsradio and MyNorthwest.com.
Live from Eastlake Avenue.
You're listening to Charlie Harger and Manda Factor, Seattle's morning news.
Good morning. It's 7:31. Headed into a holiday weekend. AAA is predicting this will be the busiest Memorial Day ever, with 45 million Americans traveling 50 miles or more for the weekend.
And more than 1 million of us in Washington, maybe you, are about to hit the highways today. But when? When, we ask, is the best time to leave to beat the congestion? Well, Luke Ducey is here with some answers.
It's right now. Get going. Hurry up. 1.23 million Washingtonians are expected to hit the roads heading out of town this weekend. That is the highest mark in 20-some years. So if you are heading out, according to INRIX, the best time to get on the road is before 11 a.m. Start waking up those kids. Get them to the bathroom. Get to the bathroom first. Cannot stress that enough. Get the snacks, get in the car, go, get going. The worst times are between 11 a.m. and 8 p.m. today. Saturday, basically the same. Sunday, minimal traffic all day, but I don't know who's traveling on a Sunday on a Memorial Day weekend. And then Monday, the congestion starts early, 10 a.m., worst time between noon and 5 p.m., especially along I-90 from Ellensburg back to Western Washington. More on that in just a little bit. I'm going to be asking Sully a couple questions, but plan ahead. Do not be like Steve Martin in Planes, Trains, and Automobiles.
I want a car right now.
May I see your rental agreement?
I threw it away.
Oh, boy.
Oh, boy, what?
You're...
All right, let's talk gas prices. The national average for a gallon of regular is $4.55 this morning. $5.72 is the average across the state. Diesel, $6.70. However, the prediction from Gas Buddies Patrick DeHaan.
I think most Americans are probably going to see gas prices going up this week ahead of Memorial Day with last week's bigger jump in the price of oil.
Let's hope not, because I have a diesel as well. If you're flying, air travel is expected to surge. 970,000 travelers passing through SeaTac this weekend. Right now, I just checked. Wait times at the checkpoints between 5 and 10 minutes, so not bad. But, hey, check out Super Saver. Have you ever used that? I have a ton of times. Works great.
Okay.
Where you reserve your spot in the TSA line.
Oh, yeah, it's Spot Saver.
What did I call it? Super Saver?
Yeah.
What is my mind?
Super Soaker?
Whatever. Yeah, bring your Super Soaker, get in line for the Spot Saver, empty it out before you get to TSA. It'll be a lot of fun. Also, there's reserves parking for Memorial Day, but that's going to go fast. I wouldn't be surprised if it's already gone, but check it out. Finally, if you're taking the Washington State Ferry, you and an estimated 349,999 other people will be fighting for a spot on a ferry. The busiest routes, you might guess, Edmonds, Kingston, Mukilteo, Clinton, Seattle to Bainbridge. A lot of people trying to get out to the peninsula. Best advice from WashDOT's Justin Fujioka.
Walk-ons, we always have space. If we have to give any tips, it's probably if you can walk on, that's the best option.
Yeah, get someone to pick you up on the other end. Hey, good luck out there, everyone. Also coming home, I should say, on I-90 westbound Sully. We've been talking about this. You talked about this in depth. Be careful as you get close to Highway 18. I almost wrecked a couple weekends ago, spinning around there about 65, 70 miles an hour.
It's okay to admit you're going 80 and going around that corner. Yeah, that right lane backs up unnecessarily so because the exit, the signals or sign says right lane must exit. That's not the case anymore. Both right lanes exit. And if you're the person who sat in that long line, don't cut off the people who are doing it right at the top of that line. There's no need for that.
Well, the problem is everyone's getting over left progressively, and then people are whipping around there at coming through. And
but if I don't need to get off at Highway 18, I'm automatically in the far left lane getting around that blind corner because you never want to hit the brakes hard. I've done it before.
All right. Thanks for the tips, Luke and Sully. We should check the current traffic conditions now.
And right now it's great, Charlie. We're doing really well. No real issues across the board. There's a little slowing through Northgate, a little bit through Canyon Park, but just over 40 minutes from Everett to Seattle or Bellevue is not bad. Federal Way to Seattle, under 45. Under 40 from Puyallup to Renton. Renton to Bellevue is about 25. Lake bridges are great. Olympia to Tacoma, no problems. Just a little slowing southbound in Lacey after an earlier crash there. KIRO Newsradio Real-Time Traffic. I'm Chris Sullivan.
I'm sorry, it's stuck in my head, but I have to say it. Those aren't pillows.
I told him not to play that one, but you had to bring it up.
Yeah, first time I've had my finger over a dump button with a live report from Luke in a long time.
Mostly sunny, 77 today. We'll see some clouds tomorrow morning. Sunshine for the afternoon, 73. Sunday looks dry, but we are looking for some rain, breezy conditions on Monday and a high of 59. It's 54 in Seattle right now.
And it's time for the 7:35 commentary. I heard that sound for the first time in the back of my mom's green 1974 Chevy Impala station wagon. Jimmy Carter was president. I was probably 4 years old. I was almost certainly the only preschooler in my neighborhood who knew who Jimmy Carter was. That sound came out of the radio at the top of the hour, and I was hooked. Whatever that was, I wanted more of it. That was CBS News Radio, and today, after 99 years, it airs its final broadcast. Christopher Glenn, Dallas Townsend, Harley Carnes, Mark Knoller at the White House, Charles Osgood. Those were the voices that came through that Chevy speaker, and without knowing it at the time, it pointed me toward the only career I ever wanted. I've been chasing that sound ever since. KIRO and CBS were a power combination for 90 of those 99 years. Bill Yent, Greg Herschel, Paul Brendel, Charlie Fiano out in the Highway Helper, Dave Ross middays, Ursula Reutin at the news desk, Patty Payne. There's a photo of Jim French on my desk right here at KIRO, Imagination Theater. Wayne Cody with sports. This station was a colossus. CBS was woven into the fabric of it. The partnership that shaped Pacific Northwest radio for generations. I understand why this is happening. This is a business, not a charity. CBS is a big company with a lot of divisions and a television network that still apparently makes money. Radio doesn't fit the growth model anymore. And if you have hundreds of affiliates and you still can't turn a profit, that tells you something about where the radio industry is. I get it. I don't have to like it. I'll say this for the people who made the decision. They gave CBS News Radio a clean ending. They didn't license out the name of CBS as some shady third party with no interest in the standards that generations of journalists built. I've worked at stations that became hollowed out shells of what they once were. New owners who gut the staff, drain the morale, and pretend it's the same station it's always been. That is a slower and uglier death. CBS didn't do that. They turned the lights off themselves. There's a kind of dignity in that, even if it still hurts. And it does hurt. Like losing a family member you knew wasn't well, you knew it was coming. Doesn't it make it easier when it happens? We're going to keep doing serious radio on KIRO relentlessly. That is the commitment. But we'd be foolish to ignore the world that's grown up around it. That's why if you're online, you're seeing my face for radio on YouTube Live. Why my kids complain they keep seeing me on their Instagram feeds. Why I'm out doing investigative reports on video. I'm told I'm on TikTok. The bosses assure me I don't have to do a dance unless I want to. The goal is the same as it's always been for us. Build up, connect, inform, and celebrate families and communities. The platforms change, but being a trusted voice around here doesn't. ABC newscasts begin later today on KIRO News Radio. They're good. We're in good hands. But after 99 years, including 90 years right here at KIRO, I said it to a former head of CBS News Radio just yesterday. It's a damn shame.
This is Douglas Edwards. CBS News on the Hour is the sound of news in the making. And this sound introduces our comprehensive news coverage. Distinctively CBS Radio, signaling CBS News. Listen for the signature. And you'll be listening to CBS News on CBS Radio, where what you want to know comes first.
And that's a 7:35 commentary for Friday, May 22nd, 2026. Text your thoughts to the Muckleshoot Casino and Resort text line, 888-973-5476. Join the chat on our YouTube Live. See my face for radio at KIRO News Radio, or leave a comment at mynorthwest.com.
Sully, you've mentioned you've only worked for CBS affiliates. I've only worked for ABC affiliates until I came here. We are in good hands.
Amen.
All right.
Sully, what's coming up?
You.
What's coming up in traffic?
We're going to take a look at the slowing we have, which isn't much on this Friday, as it's a getaway day. We'll start in Renton coming up next.
KIRO News Radio, the first place you turn for the news you trust.
Renton police investigating a shooting that happened just after midnight.
Engaging conversation.
It's just indefensible. The mayor's communications team should be better.
Traffic.
A full closure now, southbound 509 at Alexander Avenue.
And your Super Bowl champion Seahawks.
Touchdown, Seahawks!
Streaming everywhere on the KIRO News Radio app. Always here, always with you. KIRO News Radio, 97.3 FM.
Remember the days you didn't have to think about energy? You just had it. Well, now it's the midday crash, the sleepless nights, the moments where you catch yourself thinking, what the heck happened to me? Well, here's the thing. Nothing's wrong with you. Your hormones just stopped holding up their end of the deal. At Juvacor Health and Wellness Center, hormone replacement therapy isn't a guessing game. It starts with a real sit-down conversation with a female provider who's heard your story before, because she hears it every single day. Dr. Lucy Hostetter is a board-certified physician. She has spent 7 years doing one thing exceptionally well, that is helping women feel like themselves again. Your treatment is built around your labs, your symptoms, and your life, not a cookie-cutter protocol. And the follow-up is real because feeling better shouldn't be a one-appointment promise. Now, with 2 convenient locations, Tacoma and Bellevue, they've expanded from their flagship home at Seattle Regenerative Medicine Center. Great care is closer than ever, now in Tacoma, too. Stop Googling symptoms at 2 a.m. Start a conversation with someone who actually has the answers. JuvaCoreHealth.com. That's Juve corehealth.com. Feel like yourself again.
Snapshot from Progressive wasn't created for just anybody. Oh no, we made it for you. Smooth accelerators. When that light turns green, you're off. Like a warm knife through firm butter. Going from 0 to the speed limit in an appropriate amount of time. Sure, your car has horsepower, but your horses prance around as silky smooth as your right foot. Fancy Prancerton. With Snapshot, safe drivers like you get personalized rates based on your driving habits. Sign up today at Progressive.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Snapshot not available in California or from all agents.
Earn an accredited MBA in as few as 16 months for about $21K at University of Maryland Global Campus. Explore 10 specializations, including finance, HR, cyber technology, and more. Plus, showcase the value of your MBA with a comprehensive learner record and digitally demonstrate in-demand skills and credentials to employers. No application fee if you apply by June 1st. Learn more at umgc.edu. Certified to operate in Virginia by Shell.
It's 7:43. We check traffic on the 3s with Chris Sullivan.
How dare you interrupt us to talking about how I'm going to get to my event tomorrow and driving on I-5 tomorrow.
We're a little distracted.
When I should be focusing on people driving on I-5 today. I promise. I started with 405, and that's where we're going to go. We're going to the Renton S-curves. You're a little slow from basically Talbot all the way up past SR 900, kind of meandering up past the VMAC, but we're not quite up to a half an hour from Renton to Bellevue, and that's by far our worst corridor at this point, so expect some slowing there, but you get out of it quickly, and getting into Bellevue is not too bad. Spill over onto the Valley Freeway, manageable. There's a little slowing in Auburn, a little bit in in Sumner. Overall, about 42 to 44 minutes to make that drive, so we've added a couple of more customers there. Olympia to Tacoma, no problems. Slight hesitation getting into South Tacoma, right around 56, and then Federal Way to Seattle's running just over 40. Heaviest spot there, all the merging right around the West Seattle Bridge and the Michigan Curve. Coming down from the north end, we're under 45 minutes from Everett to Seattle or Bellevue, but not by much on 405. Really starting to see the braking getting through Canyon Park and 522. Coming down for a little bit further to the north, really no issues for you guys. Lake bridges are still fine. 16 looks pretty good. 18 over Tiger Mountain is manageable in the eastbound direction. Still just a little slowing on southbound 5 out of Lacey because of this crash we've been dealing with just south of the Cabela's. A lot of activity there. We've got cars on either side of you on the shoulders, but overall not bad. KIRO News Radio real-time traffic. I'm Chris Sullivan.
And our forecast, it is beautiful, warming up to 77 in the sunshine for today. Tomorrow still looks nice. You'll wake up to some clouds, but sunny in the afternoon, 73. Increasing clouds on Sunday, still dry, but Monday we're going to get wet. Rainy and breezy for Memorial Day this year, a high of 59. Right now in Seattle, sunshine and 54.
G. Scott stops by coming up. Grocery giant Kroger says they're making big price cuts at their stores across the country. G? Well, he's skeptical. We'll talk about it coming up on Seattle's Morning News.
Underestimating the trucking industry is one of the biggest mistakes I see victims and other lawyers make. Trucking companies have an army of lawyers and experts who act quickly after an accident to protect the company. Only an experienced trucking accident lawyer can navigate the complicated federal and state laws to protect your rights. If you or a loved one has been injured in a trucking accident, call Davis Law Group today for a free consultation or get my free book on trucking accident law at WashingtonAccidentBooks.com.
Summertime means sunshine, baseball games, beach trips, hiking, sandwiches at the summit. So don't let your bank stop you from having fun. Free checking at WaFd Bank is the way to go. There are no minimum balances or monthly maintenance fees to worry about. Plus, you'll get spending tools and the latest technology to help you stick to your budget. Not only is WaFd Bank a best bank, we have more than 200 branches to serve you across 9 western states, so you have access wherever you are. Visit WaFdBank.com to open your account. Non-sufficient funds charges may apply. Member FDIC.
Wait! Before you change the station, listen to this.
1-877 Cars for Kids. KIRS Cars for Kids. 1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Donate your car at carsforkids.org. That's cars with a K. Pickup is quick and easy. You'll also get a vacation voucher and a tax deduction.
1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Hartley Wilcox here. For over 100 years, my family has been committed to doing what's right. We believe food should be honest and wholesome. At Wilcox Farms, that starts with caring for our hens. They roam healthy pastures and enjoy a diet of organic grains and flaxseed. Why does that matter? Because what hens eat determines the quality of the eggs you eat. Our nature-first approach means vibrant golden yolks, richer flavor, and higher omega-3s for your family's health. When you choose Wilcox, you're not just buying eggs. You're supporting a farm that values animal welfare, sustainability, and community. It's real nutrition, real care, and real value. So next time you're at the egg case, look for Wilcox Family Farms eggs. Taste the difference that starts with what our hens eat. Wilcox Family Farms, locally fresh since 1909.
Harnish Auto Family Super Sale is happening right now. The cost of living has gone up, but when buying a car, it doesn't have to feel like it. Zero down delivers, no payments all summer, and exclusive 10-day deals in partnership with TAPCO Credit Union. With a wide selection of new vehicles and over 400 used vehicles across 5 dealerships, you'll find just what you're looking for. Visit Subaru, Volkswagen, and Chevy Buick GMC of Puyallup or Kia and Chevy of Everett. Harnish Auto Family. People matter.
Offers available OAC on select models. Exclusions apply. See dealer for details.
At Uline, the prevailing opinion is if you don't live it, you don't believe it. The people at Uline believe in hard work, and they live it by being there 24/7 to answer your call, having 41,000 items in stock, and offering same-day shipping from 12 locations across North America. Business owners, sellers, buyers, shippers, and packers believe it. Uline is the hard-working, dependable source for your shipping and industrial supplies. Visit uline.com.
Seattle's morning news. Hear it live, stream it online, watch the show, or catch the podcast anytime on mynorthwest.com.
Well, it is Friday. That means it's time for the early edition of G. Scott's appearance with us every day here on Seattle's Morning News. G and Ursula is coming up 9 to noon. Good morning, G.
Hey, good morning. There's two people that I've realized that I have been trying to impress in my radio career.
Me?
One was my dad before he passed. He got to hear me. He'd always loved to talk to me after I was doing on the sports side. The other one is David Burbank. I always want to make sure that I make him proud when I'm explaining these stories because David and I, we link. So everybody got happy recently. Kroger, you guys heard the story. Kroger came out and announced they are cutting prices.
That's a company that owns QFC and Fred Meyer.
and Fred Meyer, in order to compete with the Safeway Albertsons, Costco. They want to compete with the Walmarts. They want to compete with them. So this new CEO is coming out saying we're going to be cutting prices. By the way, this CEO was connected with Walmart at one point, so he knows a bit about cutting prices, right?
Sure.
Right. Now, let's talk about prices. When you guys were younger, now, David, you probably didn't do this, but back in our day, did you ever get on a seesaw, Amanda?
Sure.
The seesaw, right?
Yeah.
Like one person, and then sometimes the other person.
My tailbone.
Yes. And if they jumped off you, you know what I mean? It wasn't cool. So I want you to look at this topic like a seesaw. Charlie, I owe you for this one. So a grocery store is like a seesaw. On one end of the seesaw, you pay at the register. If you get a good deal, that means at the other end of the seesaw, you have wages that aren't that great for the worker. You see what I'm saying? So it's one of those. It's a seesaw. But don't take my word for it. That's not my opinion. Let's talk about Walmart. Walmart is the biggest private employer in America. You guys have heard of Walmart, right? Yet, Walmart has more workers on food assistance than any other company in the country. How's those prices at Walmart? That's pretty good, right? Guess what happened when Walmart back in 2015 tried to raise the pay for their workers? You guys can look this up if you want. They had the biggest stock drop in their company's history in 2015. So they raised the prices, raised the wages. Stock fell 10% in one day. So what am I trying to say? I'm trying to say this. Kroger, I appreciate it, and I think that is great. But if you follow where you can get the least expensive, the inexpensive prices, you can follow with the wages of the people that work there. It's like a seesaw. You can't have it both ways. So if you guys are asking me for a fix, like Charlie does all the time, I don't have a fix. All I know is Walmart, the very inexpensive prices that you get there, they are the biggest private company here in the country, but yet they have the most employees on food assistance in the country. How do you fix it? I don't know. So what do you got, Charlie?
No, I think of the Winco model. I don't know enough about it, but if you've been into Winco, prices are really low, but they're also
privately owned.
Yeah, they're privately owned and employee owned.
Do you have Winco stock?
No, of course not. So I'm just curious if maybe that's a model. I don't know enough about it, but
do you think in America that we want more companies like that where you can't, healthcare, we can buy stock in that, buy stock in food. I mean, like Kroger actually has stock prices, right?
But here's the thing, too. I mean, we're talking about $10 a pound ground beef, right, at stores. I don't know if we can afford more. I don't know. I'm just thinking out loud.
You say you don't know if we can afford more what?
For ground beef. If prices go up, you're paying employees more. With the margins they have in the grocery industry. This is a question, not a statement.
I tell you what, we'll come back to this, but here's a homework assignment. Why do you think that every single time you talk about wages being increased for the people, that people automatically go to talk about the prices going up? There's a reason. We'll come back to that. Because there's a reason why, Charlie, this is the second day in a row you've done that. There's a reason why you keep saying that.
All right, we have to leave it there right now.
You'll kick me out?
You may be excused.
Time to check traffic. Sully has his eyes on the roads for us.
And our heaviest drive now, certainly, the 405 Renton S curves. We have brake lights from about the Maple Valley Highway up past 44th. Overall, though, under a half an hour to make that trip. Behind that on the Valley Freeway, not bad at all. Under 40 minutes there. Olympia to Tacoma, 35. Federal Way to Seattle's about 40, maybe 42, depending on how you hit the volume past the West Seattle Bridge. There is some slowing there at the north end of Boeing Field up past the West Seattle Bridge. Lake bridges are still in very good shape coming down from the north end. Under 45 from Everett to Seattle or Bellevue. 405 is probably the heavier of the two, which we've gotten used to. There's also a little slowing pulling away from the Boeing Freeway. But other than that, we are in a very good spot. KIRO News Radio Real-Time Traffic. I'm Chris Sullivan.
Gorgeous Friday morning. Mostly sunny, 77 for today. Overnight low 53. Tomorrow looks like we'll wake up to some clouds, but sunshine for the afternoon, 73. Sunday, still nice. The clouds will increase throughout the day, though, and by Monday, Memorial Day, rainy and breezy in 59. Right now in Seattle, sunshine and 54.
Coming up, more of the day's top headlines, and KIRO News Radio's Luke Ducey will join us. There was a shooting on a Metro bus in Auburn. What we're learning about that.
Also coming up, the Rick Riz Show as the Mariners hit the road for Kansas City. That's coming up at 8:15 here on Seattle's Morning News on KIRO News Radio.
If the world were like a Sleep Number mattress, everything would adapt for your comfort. Because as your life changes and your body changes, Sleep Number mattresses adapt and shift to give you personalized comfort night after night. And now everything's on sale during our Memorial Day event. Save up to $1,200 on mattresses, plus free delivery when you add a base. Ends Monday. To experience a whole new world of comfort, visit a Sleep Number store or go to sleepnumber.com. Sleep Number. To a good life sleep.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm.
I'm Chuck McDowell, founder of Wesley Financial Group. Did you buy a timeshare because they told you it was a great investment? That's a lie. Most timeshares can be bought online for $1. To find out what your timeshare is worth and to cancel it, call us today and we'll send you our timeshare exit kit free with all your options for cancellation.
Call Wesley for your free exit info guide. 800-771-1300. That's 800-771-1300.
Step inside and let the excitement take you places. This is Muckleshoot Casino Resort, the ultimate spot for action that reaches incredible heights, luxury that knows no bounds, and live entertainment that always thrills. It's all at one incredible destination. So when you look for the best, look nowhere else. Muckleshoot Casino Resort, the biggest and best in the Northwest. Muckleshoot.
May in the Pacific Northwest means 1 minute it's sunshine, the next you're looking for your rain jacket. Good thing the Subaru Forester is built for all of it. And right now at Carter Subaru, you can get the 2026 Subaru Forester with 0.9% financing OAC. Plus, Carter Subaru has over 800 Subarus in stock, the largest selection in our state. Carter Subaru in Ballard, Shoreline, or at cartersubaru.com.
On approved credit, subject to vehicle insurance and availability. A documentary service fee may be added to the sale price or capitalized cost. See dealer for details. Valid through 5/31/26.
Ryan Reynolds here from Mint Mobile with a message for everyone paying big wireless way too much. Please, for the love of everything good in this world, stop. With Mint, you can get premium wireless for just $15 a month. Of course, if you enjoy overpaying, no judgments, but that's weird. Okay, one judgment.
Visit mintmobile.com/radio.
Upfront payment of $45 for 3-month plan, equivalent to $15 per month required. Intro rate first 3 months only, then full price plan options available. Taxes and fees extra. See full terms at mintmobile.com.
Get a $15 O'Reilly gift card after rebate when you buy 5 quarts of Mobil 1 full synthetic motor oil at O'Reilly Auto Parts.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Support comes from Amazon Business. Unlock smart business buying with fast, free delivery on millions of items and practical AI innovations that automate repetitive tasks so you can make smarter decisions faster. Learn more at amazonbusiness.com.
Running a small business means juggling a lot. Your network has to handle it all. That's where a fiber-only provider falls short. You need a partner who gives you a greater advantage. Introducing the Total Solutions Advantage only from Comcast Business. A first-ever combination of the largest, fastest fiber-powered network, the most reliable Wi-Fi, gig speeds with equipment and security included, and a 5-year price lock. Plus, it's all backed by a 30-day money-back guarantee. The Total Solutions Advantage only from Comcast Business. A new standard for small business with reliability, security, and savings in one. Switch today. Get started with a great offer as low as $60 a month. When you add it all up, no one does business like Comcast Business.
Offer ends 6/1/26. New customers only. Requires 300 megabits per second internet and security edge. 1-year agreement, eco-bill, and autopay required. Equipment, taxes, and fees extra. Most reliable Wi-Fi based on Open Signal Awards USA Fixed Broadband Experience Report, May 2025.
Ready to get rid of that old car? Donate it today at carsforkids.org. Your car can be picked up as soon as tomorrow. Call 1-877-CARS4KIDS to donate your car today. That's Cars with a K.
Your best source for local news. KIRO Newsradio. KIRO FM and HD1. Tacoma, Seattle. Northwest News. This is CBS News on the Hour. Your home for original reporting.
Head of the World Health Organization says Ebola is spreading rapidly in the Congo.
There are now almost 750 suspected cases and 177 suspected deaths.
But measures taken in Uganda appear to be helping in preventing the further spread of the virus there. He says an American national working in the DRC has been confirmed positive and taken to Germany for care.
We're also aware of another American national who has been transferred to the Czech Republic.
Stacey Lynn, CBS News.
Pushback on Capitol Hill over potential taxpayer-funded payouts to President Trump's allies, who claim they were wronged by the Biden administration. Correspondent Ed O'Keefe is at the White House.
The nearly $1.8 billion fund created by the Justice Department to compensate people who say they were targeted by government actions is drawing intense pushback from Democrats.
This administration is acting as if the American people are their ATM.
And now a growing number of Republicans, like North Carolina Senator Tom Tillis, who calls the fund, quote, a payout pot for punks.
A possible clue into the death of a racing legend, Fox NASCAR, with the sound of Kyle Busch asking for medical attention 2 weeks ago.
And can somebody try to find Bill Heisel, the Hendrick doctor guy? Tell him I need him after the race, please. Hey, do you want Mr. Bill at your car and at your bus after the race? Bus. I'm going to need a shot.
He told reporters later he had a substantial cough. He told Fox this past Sunday.
Why do these moments never get old, Kyle?
Because you never know when the last one is.
Bush died yesterday at the age of 41. After 99 years, we're turning out the lights for good here at CBS News Radio tonight. World News Roundup anchor Steve Kathan sat down with CBS's Mark Strassman.
What do you think America will miss most about it? It's been around for a long time. Really, an American institution is what we're losing here. And I think people will notice that.
It's been a reliable companion for generations. Now this American institution will lose its voice.
Now credit where credit is overdue. My copy editor's been the incomparable Matt Cherry. On assignment, the amazing Patricia Corrigan. Desk associate who's made everything possible, Maggie Pecknick. My gratitude to each and every one of you. And for one last time, this is CBS News Radio.
I want to know what's going on in the world. I'm Tony. There are big questions that all of us are asking. I want to get you the answers. How are you? I'm Tony DeCopel. Join me on the CBS Evening.
Carpal All right, 8:03. Let's check in with Sully for traffic on the 3s.
And we're enjoying a very good start to this Friday getaway day on this Memorial Day weekend. So far, so good. No real issues across the board. It's been super light, even for Friday standards today. With the one little hiccup we have had is it's still pretty heavy on southbound I-5 as you work your way through Lacey because of this long-term crash we've been dealing with just south of the Cabela's. It hasn't been blocking for a while, but there's enough action. One of the car ended up in the median, was pretty well banged up. So give yourself about an extra 10 minutes to go through there. So Tacoma to Olympia is about 40. Going the other direction, it's about 35 minutes from Tacoma into Olympia. And then Federal Way to Seattle's under 40. Valley Freeway, super quiet from end to end. Just some slight hesitation here and there. Under 40. Rented to Bellevue, still not a half an hour. Lake bridges are quiet, so that's super good. We're looking at a drive coming down from the north end of about 40 to 42 minutes. So overall, really not too bad there. And one thing to keep an eye on, for those of you heading northbound through that Ship Canal Bridge closure on northbound I-5, right at the end of the construction zone, right around 45th, we've got a car conked out in the left lane. Not a good spot for that, so where you have one more lane to merge over there, so really only one lane going across the Ship Canal Bridge at that north end part of the zone. This report brought to you by Bucky's Complete Auto Care. For 50 years, Bucky's Complete Auto Repairs are in local trust with honest pricing, guaranteed repairs. That's why they're Carfax preferred. No gimmicks, just great service. Bucky's.com.
8:04 on the Friday, May 22nd, 2026 edition of Seattle's Morning News. I'm Charlie Harger with Manda Factor.
Auburn police are searching for the person who shot a teenager on a bus.
KIRO Newsradio's Luke Ducey is here with more on the shooting and where it happened.
Yeah, let's start with this. Here's what Auburn investigators are telling KIRO 7 TV about the shooting.
As of right now, I'm going to say he was just shot at least one time, and he was communicating with us on scene prior to being taken to the hospital.
And that victim was taken to Harborview Medical Center, where he was last listed in stable condition. If you're watching on the YouTube feed, we do have maps of the area where it happened around 9:30 last night on board a Metro bus traveling through 29th Street Southeast and M Street Southeast in Auburn. It's right next to the Church of the Nazarene, if you know where that is. As for a motive,
we believe that there's at least one suspect involved in this. We also do not think this was a random attack. We do believe that the people involved knew each other, so we don't necessarily think there's a threat to the community.
There has been gang-related violence in that area in the past. Police said on Facebook they had a K-9 tracking that area for the suspect. No arrests just yet. We, of course, will keep you updated throughout the day. Charlie, Manda?
The Pierce County man accused of killing his girlfriend was in court yesterday afternoon to face a murder charge, even though her body has not been found.
We get the details from KIRO Newsradio's James Lynch.
30-year-old Kendrick Deshaun Bruce pleaded not guilty to a murder charge, and bail was set at $2 million. The victim went missing April 1st. Detectives initially arrested Bruce for identity theft and felony harassment. He was released, but after further investigation, Bruce was rearrested Wednesday for first-degree murder. Tacoma police officer Shelby Boyd explains a murder charge with no body.
As long as you meet your elements of your crime, that's what they needed. And so they were able to obtain that, and prosecutor's office was on board.
The search for the victim is ongoing. James Lynch, KIRO News Radio.
A Tenino couple is free after a jury found them not guilty of murder. The Olympian reports Curtis and Tabitha Gibson were acquitted in Thurston County Superior Court this week. They were charged in the shooting death of 56-year-old Gaylord Travis Sayers at a bar near Offutt Lake back in April of 2024. Prosecutors said the couple planned it, but the defense argued Curtis Gibson was defending himself from members of a motorcycle club. Both had been in jail for more than 2 years.
The Washington State Patrol is paying $340,000 to settle a lawsuit over deleted records. The Seattle Times reports former troopers accused the agency of destroying texts and documents tied to their firings. They were let go in 2021 for refusing the COVID vaccine mandate ordered by then Governor Jay Inslee. A larger lawsuit challenging the mandate itself is still ongoing.
8:07 on Seattle's Morning News, Friday, May 22nd. Great to have you here. Manda Factor is with me, Charlie Harger. Sully is here too. Sully, you ready for the Memorial Day weekend?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Gonna be sitting out in my lawn chair, making sure people zipper merge on certain parts of the highway. making sure they don't cut people off, cross double white lines.
Do you sometimes just go out on the freeway with one of those flashlight thingies with the orange cone on it and direct traffic if it gets too bad?
Until the State Patrol tells me to leave.
Yeah.
One thing I was thinking about doing on Monday after the show is going out with a giant billboard that says, both lanes exit, for those of you on westbound 90 to westbound 18, but I'd probably get cut off and probably be Karen'd. Somebody would probably get mad at me at some point.
You made it into a
Karen'd,
verb.
yes, you did.
Okay.
What is that not how you, I don't know.
We probably have listeners named Karen,
Yeah.
okay?
Well, not them.
every Karen.
Not them.
Not all Karens. All right. We will be working on Memorial Day. So if you're like us and working, be sure to tune us in for our live show starting at 5 on Monday morning.
Coming up this hour, the show, The Rick Riz Show. We're going to hear from the voice of the Mariners ahead of the team's road trip to Kansas City.
And Paul Holden will get us ready for a busy Memorial Day weekend. Paul has a look at all the fun stuff happening around the Sound.
It's 8:09. Seattle city leaders are addressing the crime along Aurora Avenue. KIRO 7 TV's Madeline Audley reports.
Councilmember Deborah Horace responded with a blog post on Thursday outlining action the city is taking. We also reached out to Mayor Katie Wilson and Councilmember Bob Kettle Thursday. He runs the Public Safety Committee. Kettle told us he's actively monitoring this, but said directing extra patrols comes from the mayor. Mayor Wilson told us Thursday afternoon that SPD is developing immediate plans for more officers there on emphasis patrols.
Longview police have arrested the town's school superintendent, accusing her of blocking and mishandling reports of sexual misconduct involving students at Mark Morris High School. Karen Cloninger faces charges of witness tampering and failure to report. Investigators say school officials were alerted to serious allegations months ago, but handled the matter internally. Police say the case is ongoing. More developments are likely.
A Puget Sound area gang member will spend 6 years in prison for trafficking drugs that killed 3 Lummi Nation residents. Here's KIRO 7 TV's Elle Thomas.
33-year-old Trayvon Mitchell is part of a large group of people indicted in a multi-state drug trafficking conspiracy. Prosecutors say Mitchell is a co-conspirator in the Jackson family drug distribution ring. According to court records, Mitchell and Marquise Jackson became a high-level members of that group, selling 800,000 fentanyl pills across the country.
Seattle City Council president asking for something her predecessor calls unusual. 2 police officers stationed at every council meeting. The police department confirmed the request. Former council president Sarah Nelson tells the Jason Ranch Show on Seattle Red 770 AM the chamber already has security on site.
They're supposed to deal with disturbances. Now, they don't have the right to lay hands on any protesters or anybody who's disrupting the meeting. And so there have been officers called in the past, but it's certainly not regular.
Not clear why Council President Joy Hollingsworth made the request. We have reached out to her office for comment. SPD says volunteer officers on overtime would provide the security, but if they're not available, on-duty officers will be pulled from the street.
A Republican state senator is urging Governor Bob Ferguson to temporarily suspend Washington's Climate Commitment Act as gas prices continue to rise due to the Iran war. Senator Chris Gildon estimates that suspending the carbon cap program could cut about 55 cents off every gallon of gas.
Experts down in Olympia tell me that could start having an impact on people's pockets within a matter of just a couple of weeks.
Supporters of the CCA says it's essential to meeting the state's climate goals. We did reach out to the governor's office for comment.
Memorial Day weekend, expect long lines on the ferries.
Be prepared for what is expected to be a very busy Memorial Day holiday weekend. And just to be kind to our employees, they're working hard through the holiday weekend, to safely move all of you and us to where we need to be to celebrate.
How much is all of you? Well, Justin Fujioka with the DOT says 350,000 people expected on the ferry system between yesterday and Monday. You'll wait a whole lot less if you ride early or late.
And be kind, as he said. It's 8:12. Time for a check on the weather now. Or else. Here's KIRO 7's Nick Allard.
Gorgeous sunshine. Highs are going to be in the upper 70s and lower 80s today. And tomorrow we have widespread low clouds and then sunshine. I think you'll find some low to mid 70s, so just a little bit cooler. And then widespread high clouds on Sunday. We're down to about 70 or so. And I think you're going to hold off on rain until more than likely on Monday. So that means Monday it looks wet, it looks breezy, it looks cool. But we're not going to see much of that on Sunday. But Monday is, going to be much, much different. Say 77, 78 today, 73 tomorrow, 70 on Sunday, and 59 on Memorial Day.
It is sunny, and it has warmed up to 59 right now in Seattle.
8:13 now. We check in with Sully for traffic on the 3s this Friday morning.
Sorry, a little distracted trying to take a look at some potential new crashes up in the Snohomish area. Just got an update from Snohomish Fire District 4, right there in Snohomish, right there kind of where you go under Bickford Ave and you go to the roundabout on Highway 9. They're reporting multiple crashes there, and I was just trying to look at my cameras, which I don't have there, unfortunately, but there are the blocking both north and southbound directions right there as you work your way on Highway 9, getting just north of downtown Snohomish. So that one's new to our board, one of our very few problems that we have today. The rest of the map looks really good. I mean, we're looking at 44 minutes from Everett into Bellevue and about 40 from Everett to Seattle, under 30 from Renton to Bellevue. Puyallup to Renton, no problems there, 40 minutes, under 40 from Federal Way to Seattle, though you will hit the brakes right at the West Seattle Bridge. Our lake bridges are fine, and still about a 10-minute delay going southbound on I-5 as we work our way through Lacey after this long-term crash we've had there by the Cabela's. Looks like they've got everything out of the median there on the left-hand side, but the left shoulder remains blocked. This report brought to you by the Harnish Auto family. Super sale on now through May 31st. Exclusive deals, 0 down, no payments all summer on approval of credit. In Puyallup and Everett, Harnish Auto family, where people matter.
We are underway.
There's only one Rick Riz.
The Grippies with back-to-back home runs. Number 258, a Major League record for Ichiro.
The On Cruise Adventures Rick Riz Show on Seattle's Morning News.
Well, here we go. Every Friday at this time, we bring in legendary Mariners broadcaster Rick Riz to break down the latest with the team.
Rick, it was a nice finish to the homestand for the team.
Oh, Amanda and Charlie and David, the Mariners needed that one on Wednesday afternoon after the tough loss in the night before to the Chicago White Sox. They had that lead, and White Sox came back in the ninth. But different story on Wednesday. You know, they had Emerson Hancock. He's been outstanding this year. The bullpen was great, and, some big hits. Randy Rosarena's had an amazing season. Johnny Pareda, who was, by the way, my pick to click, hit his first Major League home run, and that untied a 2-2 game, gave the Mariners a 3-2 lead, and then Randy hit a 2-run home run. So all of a sudden, with that big win, everything was right with the world, and the sky was pushed back up where it belongs.
Rick,
so it was nice.
It certainly was nice to get the series win. Definitely needed that, especially after the series against the Padres. Gosh, that team is difficult. Is there something specific about the Padres that kind of plays to the weaknesses of the Mariners, or is it just kind of injuries that you chalk it up to?
Well, number one, it's injuries. You don't have Cal in the lineup. You don't have Brendan Donovan in the lineup. That's two huge bats, offensively. And the Mariners had a couple of games on the homestand where they got one hit in the game, and that makes it really tough. So that's number one. But with the San Diego Padres, David, you got to score runs early, and you have to have a lead because you don't want to see Mason Miller, who is the best closer in baseball. They shortened up the game with Miller in the ninth and Adrian Morejon, Arthur and lefter. He throws 100 miles an hour. So you got to score runs so you keep Miller in the bullpen. And that's what the Padres do. That's how they beat you. They come back late in games. They're terrible offensively. They got one of the worst team batting averages in all of baseball, yet they're at the top of the National League West challenging the Dodgers because of how they win games. They manage to come up with hits late in the ball game in that bullpen, and that's how they win. So to beat the Padres, you got to keep Miller in the bullpen.
Rick, I was joking a little earlier this week about me being able to keep, Emerson Hancock, Colt Emerson, and Cole Young straight. Those are very similar names. But I got to thinking, too, I mean, this feels kind of like almost a changing of the guard. Is that what you're feeling as well?
Oh, no doubt about it. I've been in this game for a long time, and one constant in baseball, I've said many times, is change. And you want the same guys that you know and love in that lineup for a long, long time. You'd like to keep that 95 team playing together for the next 30 years, but it doesn't happen. We all get a little older, and there's young guys that are ready to take over, and that's what happens in the game of baseball. And we just saw a kid come through 4 or 5 nights ago who had his dream come true. He got to the big leagues, and in Game 2 of the big leagues, Colt Emerson hits that home run to the bottom of the 8th inning to help win that ball game. And it was just huge. I mean, this is something he was dreaming about ever since I'm sure he was 4 years old, playing wiffle ball with his dad in the backyard in New Concord, Ohio. But there is always a changing of the guard because these young players are getting to the big leagues faster and faster and faster. Look at Cole Young, the progress he made from last year when he hit 211 on the season and was shaky at defense, and now he's one of the best defensive players in the American League at second base and hitting for an average and coming up with big hits to win games late. You see guys who have great careers, but now, are waning, and because that's what happens. That's the cycle of life. And you got J.P. Crawford, who I love, and he's willing now to move over to play third base to open the door for Colt Emerson because they just gave him a huge contract, and he's not going to be a utility guy. He's going to be your starting shortstop of the future. But in the meantime, J.P. Crawford can still help your team in a number of ways. So yes, there is always that change in the guard. In this wonderful game of baseball.
Yeah, Rick, you mentioned JP. I thought that was really cool for him to kind of have that flexibility to go to third base, especially with Brendan Donovan out for a little bit here. Can you just talk a little bit about JP Crawford? He's a name that I think a lot of Mariners fans who maybe are new fans are familiar with. He seems like he has been a leader on that team for a long time, has kind of brought up that new guard, sets the tone. What has he kind of done for this current era of the team?
I tell you what, the Mariners would not have won as much as they have over the last 6 years without J.P. Crawford. He has been a leader on the team, on the field, and in the clubhouse. And what I love about J.P. Crawford is that he has made Seattle his home. He bought a home here in the Pacific Northwest. He wants to raise his family here. And what he said after the game a few days ago when we saw him, I was getting ready to do the Dan Wilson show, and I look out on the field, and the guys are taking infield, and JP's over at third base. And I'm looking at that. I go, okay, this is a guy who has had a great career. He can play shortstop, but you got the kid coming up, and he's going to play short. And JP has said, I'm willing to do whatever I need to help the team. And he said in an interview before the ball game, it was before the game or after the game, I can't remember, a couple of days ago, where he said, I want to be a Mariner for life. And that rang really something, in me. This guy came up as a young player. He was struggling, but he had Kyle Seager. He had D. Strange Gordon to help him out. And now he's doing that for Cole Young. He's doing that for Colt Emerson. And that's what the veteran guys do. They pave the way for the guys who are coming up behind him. And I still hope he's still around and still a part of the Mariners organization and a part of the team. But that's a leader, knowing when to help out the younger guys when they get here. Heck, he was helping those guys out the last couple of years at spring training. So I think the world of J.P. Crawford for wanting to make this move and being able to do it.
Hey, Rick, before we let you go, we want to talk about Rismas in July. This is something you do along with Toys for Kids, and we want to give you an opportunity to tell us more.
Yeah, you can go to our website and buy a ticket, and a certain percentage of the tickets goes to our Toys for Kids charity. We got a bunch of fun things planned. The guys are going to be wearing T-shirts. We're going to be selling T-shirts. We're going to be bringing about 350 kids out from various organizations to come out and have a chance to see the Mariners play that day on July the 2nd. And we'll have some fun things planned. I know exactly all the details, but if you go to the website and you can get yourself a ticket and just have a good time and raise money for Toys for Kids. Last year, we raised over $1 million. We bought toys for over 20,000 kids last year, homeless kids and underserved children. It supports our Dave Henderson Scholarship Program. We awarded 16 $5,000 college scholarships last year. We also started a program called Rick's Locker, where we buy brand new bat and glove for about 66 kids last year, 44 the year before that. We outfitted teams with helmets and bats and baseballs and catcher's gear over the last few years. So it helps our Toys for Kids charity to make sure kids can play this great game of baseball, and a toy Christmas time for kids who really could use it. It's about hope It's about, making sure that these homeless agencies, have money that they can help these people who are in desperate need. So, Christmas in July 2nd. Find out more information. Go to our website, which is tfkseattle.org. We'd love to see you there.
Okay, well, I know Rick would never say this, but your play-by-play, of course, is legendary here in Seattle. But Toys for Kids, that's going to be your legacy, Rick. And you've impacted so many lives over the years. I hope you can feel proud of that, because it really has made a difference in this community.
Thank you, Charlie, Amanda, and David. Dave Henderson and I started it, 31 years ago, back in 1995, sitting in the bar in Pioneer Square in September when we had that great run. And then we got Dan Wilson involved. 12 guys started it. Dan Wilson, Jay Buhner, Edgar Martinez, John Olerud, Dave Valley, Julio Cruz, Johnny Moses, Billy Hasselman, Paulie Sorrento. Probably leaving out a guy or two here, but it's really been wonderful. We have to give back to this community. And through Toys for Kids, we can do that, and I'll never stop. We just won't stop because they need our help.
Yep, you are a very important part of this community, Rick. We appreciate your time this morning. Legendary Mariners broadcaster, Rick Riz.
We need to check in with Sully for traffic every 10 minutes. What's going on, Sully?
Well, some positive news for those of you stuck in a little bit longer than normal backup on northbound I-5 getting across the Ship Canal Bridge. For the last 45 minutes or so, we've had a conked-out car blocking the left lane through the construction zone. So you had to merge even over to one more lane. So we were down to one lane going across the bridge. That is now moved out of the way. So hopefully the backup that we have there will be going away. The other problem we have is right in the heart of Snohomish. For those of you on Highway 9, looks like we've got a really nasty crash. Trying to get more information here, but all southbound lanes of Highway 9 are blocked at the roundabout right there at Bickford or Avenue D, right as you're kind of coming into the north end of town. So southbound is blocked. All northbound lanes are being diverted off to Avenue D. This is pretty significant. Don't have any eyes on it yet. Don't have cams there, but you're going to need to avoid Highway 9 at the north end of Snohomish at this point. Rest of the map, not bad. 45 minutes or less, Everett to Seattle or Bellevue. 40 Federal Way to Seattle, 40 Puyallup to Renton. Renton to Bellevue's under a half an hour, and looks like we're pretty well buttoned up on the crash and the backup on southbound I-5 through Lacey. Long-term crash there, but it looks like everything's good. KIRO Newsradio real-time traffic. I'm Chris Sullivan.
Beautiful day, lots of sunshine, 77 today. A little bit cooler tomorrow, 73. We'll see clouds in the morning, sunshine in the afternoon, still dry on Sunday. Here comes the rain for Memorial Day. It's 59 in Seattle right now.
Busy half hour ahead on Seattle's Morning News. Luke Ducey with more on what to expect for Memorial Day traffic at SeaTac Airport.
And consumer man Herb Weisbaum warns of the growing threat of odometer fraud. That's coming up here on KIRO News Radio.
You know, calling a ball game is all about being in the moment, the crack of the bat, the roar of the crowd. That's why I love telling you about Uncruise Adventures. Hi, this is Rick Riz. Uncruise Adventures isn't your typical cruise. We're talking small ships, just 22 to 86 guests, so you're not lost in the crowd. And instead of sitting on deck watching the world go by, you're in it. Kayaking, hiking, exploring, right in the heart of the action. It's immersive, it's personal, it's adventure the way it should be. Check out Uncruise Adventures at uncruise.com.
Spring is the perfect time to make improvements that protect and add value to your home. Hi, Justin Shirley, CEO of State Roofing and Exteriors. For decades, homeowners across the Pacific Northwest have trusted our team for roofing, siding, windows, and custom decking. This spring, save up to $3,000, or qualified homeowners can take advantage of zero down, zero payments, and zero interest up to 24 months. Call 866-ROOF-ROOF or visit stateroofing.com today to schedule your free estimate.
The Harnish Auto Family Super Sale is happening right now. The cost of living has gone up, but when buying a car, it doesn't have to feel like it. Zero down delivers, no payments all summer, and exclusive 10-day deals in partnership with Tapco Credit Union. With a wide selection of new vehicles and over 400 used vehicles across 5 dealerships, you'll find just what you're looking for. Visit Subaru, Volkswagen, and Chevy Buick GMC of Puyallup or Kia and Chevy of Everett. Harnish Auto Family. People matter.
Offers available OAC on select models. Exclusions apply. See dealer for details.
Snapshot from Progressive wasn't created for just anybody. Oh no, we made it for you. Gradual breakers. You keep your eyes on the road, so you've seen it all. As long as it all happened directly in front of you. Like a Swedish masseuse, your foot knows exactly the right amount of pressure to apply to the brake. That's why your passengers feel totally relaxed with you behind the wheel and occasionally super sleepy. With Snapshot, safe drivers like you get personalized rates based on your driving habits. Sign up today at Progressive.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Snapshot not available in California or from all agents.
If the world were like a Sleep Number mattress, everything would adapt for your comfort. Because as your life changes and your body changes, Sleep Number mattresses adapt and shift to give you personalized comfort night after night. And now everything's on sale during our Memorial Day event. Save up to $1,200 on mattresses, plus free delivery when you add a base. Ends Monday. To experience a whole new world of comfort, visit a Sleep Number store or go to sleepnumber.com. Sleep Number. To a good life sleep.
Walter is a soccer player, a soccer coach, and a soccer dad. So when he injured his Achilles, it affected everything.
Every time I ran or tried to play soccer, it would just get worse.
And he wasn't the only one dealing with it.
I was a soccer parent, and within a few weeks, 2 other fathers tore their Achilles or damaged their Achilles. They went to the surgery. I went to Dr. Mark Wagner, and I was back up and running, and they were jealous because it took them months to recover. One of them never fully recovered.
That's right. Walter chose to see Dr. Mark Wagner, MD, at Seattle Sports Regenerative Medicine for stem cell therapy, the most experienced in the Northwest with over 20,000 stem cell procedures.
The recovery period is so short, and the feeling that you have of being completely back to normal is overwhelming.
So, whether it's a hip, like I had, a shoulder, elbow, ankle, wrist, or knee, before choosing surgery, see Dr. Mark Wagner first. Go to drmarkwagnermd.com. That's drmarkwagnermd.com.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack. Sure, you can post your job to some job board, but then all you can do is hope the right person comes along, which is why you should try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter doesn't depend on candidates finding you. It finds them for you. Its powerful technology identifies people with the right experience and actively invites them to apply to your job. You get qualified candidates fast. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you what you're looking for. The needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free. That's right, free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. That's ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter.com/radio.
ZipRecruiter. This season, the Mariners are lighting up the sky with 8 fireworks nights thanks to T-Mobile. The fun kicks off with a 90s themed show on Friday, May 29th against the D-backs. Get your tickets and check out the complete lineup at mariners.com/fireworks. Nearly half the homes in Western Washington are not properly insulated or not insulated at all. Sound like your home? Then call for your free inspection.
InsulationNorthwest.com. Now, the latest from KIRO Newsradio and MyNorthwest.com.
Live from East Lake Avenue.
You're listening to Charlie Harger and Manda Factor, Seattle's morning news.
Good morning. It's 8:31. AAA predicts this will be the busiest Memorial Day ever, with 45 million Americans traveling 50 miles or more over the weekend.
Are you one of the more than 1 million Washingtonians about to hit the highways? If so, when is the best time for you to do that? Beat the congestion? KIRO News Radio's Luke Ducey is here with some answers.
1.23 million Washingtonians expected to hit the roads heading out of town this weekend. That's the highest Charlie and Manda in 20 years. But hey, folks, don't forget, relax, no road raging, have fun, enjoy the scenery.
Yes. We know, Big Ben.
Parliament. If you're heading out today, according to INRIX, the best time to get on the road is, well, you better get on the road now, 11 a.m. After that, worst times are between 11 a.m. and 8 p.m. today. Saturday, basically the same. Sunday, traffic-free all day, pretty much everywhere. So that's smooth sailing on Sunday. But Monday, that congestion starts back up at 10 a.m. coming home. The worst time between noon and 5 p.m., especially along I-90. If you're coming in from Ellensburg back to Western Washington, that's going to be a mess. I guarantee it. Let's talk gas prices. The national average for a gallon of regular right now, $4.55 this morning. $5.72 is the average across the state. Diesel, $6.70 right now is the average. However, the prediction, 6.7. That's right, 6.7, Sully. The prediction from gas. I didn't even do it.
Don't encourage
Charlie did it
him.
to you. That's the prediction. Here's the prediction.
And I think most Americans are probably going to see gas prices going up this week ahead of Memorial Day with last week's bigger jump in the price of oil.
6-7. If you're flying, hey.
Can you fly this plane and land it?
Surely you can't be serious.
I am serious. And don't call me Shirley.
Don't call me Shirley. 970,000 travelers expected through SeaTac this weekend. Right now, wait times at the checkpoints between 5 and 10 minutes. Not bad right now. Check out Spot Saver. I've done it a bunch of times. Just go on the website there for SeaTac. You can save your spot on the TSA line. Works like a gem. Finally, if you're taking a Washington State ferry, you and an estimated 349,999 other people are going to be fighting for a spot on a ferry. The best advice from WashDOT's Justin Fujioka.
Walk-ons, we always have space. If we have to give any tips, it's probably if you can walk on, that's the best option.
Busiest routes, you can probably guess, over to the peninsula. You got the Edmonds-Kingston, Mukilteo-Clinton, and then the Seattle-Bainbridge are the busiest routes. Good luck, everyone. Have fun.
Okay, I think Luke's going to go watch a Gladiator movie now.
Yes.
8:33. Let's check in with Sully for traffic on the threes.
Or play with his dog, Scraps. Scraps is a boy dog, right?
Huh?
Oh, God.
I don't remember that.
I have to work
one.
with you people, and you can't. Oh, my gosh.
I don't remember that line. Just fill in the rest of it.
Oh, my God. That was it.
Or how about you just do a traffic report?
I'm trying to give some people some levity. But dear goodness. By the way, Edmonds Kingston run, if you haven't done that, Kingston, you have that new metered area, 8 to 8 every day. You have to get into that and get a ticket. Because if you drive up to the booth and maybe cut the line and don't have a ticket from that kiosks, you're not going to get through the toll booth. Don't get turned around. Looking at our drive right now, we're in pretty good shape across the board. There's some braking here and there, like through the Renton S curves, but under a half an hour to Bellevue is a great number. A little bit past the West Seattle Bridge, but overall under 40 from Federal Way to Seattle. Under 40 Puyallup to Renton. No problems going from Tacoma to Olympia if you're heading out of town, or going from Bellevue up over Snoqualmie Pass. Nothing in the eastbound direction there. Lake bridges are fine. 40 to 45 from Everett to Seattle or Bellevue. If you are in Snohomish, though, a reminder, southbound 9 is closed at the roundabout right there at Bickford. Northbound also caught up into this. You have to exit at Avenue D. Multiple crashes involved being reported there. KIRO Newsradio real-time traffic. I'm Chris Sullivan.
Our forecast very nice for most of the holiday weekend. Today, sunny and 77. Tomorrow, you'll see some clouds in the morning, but sunshine for the afternoon, 73. Partly cloudy Sunday, 70. And then Monday looks pretty rainy and breezy and a high of only 59. Right now in Seattle, sunshine and 59.
$8:35 now here on Seattle's Morning News.
Seattle's Morning News since 1974. This is KIRO Newsradio.
Well, you got to be careful when buying a used car. There could be big problems with it. We're talking accidents, car crashes, flood damage, or a tampered odometer.
In fact, odometer fraud is on the rise. Consumer man Herb Weisbaum says a few simple steps can prevent big headaches down the road.
Herb, of course, is a contributing editor at checkbook.org. Herb, you're joining us this morning. Okay, so how are we erasing the miles on cars?
Well, Charlie, let's start with a problem first to set the scene if we could. And it's a serious and growing problem. Odometer fraud, according to the latest statistics from Carfax, 2.5 million suspected vehicles are on the roads in America today with a rollback odometer. That's up 14% in the year 2025 over 2024. Here in Washington State, they say it's up 17%, and about 37,000 vehicles on the roadway here in our state are suspected to have a tampered odometer. How do criminals erase this, you ask? Well, I spoke to M. Wynn, Director of Public Relations at Carfax, and she told me the scammers can use a special device to roll back a digital odometer that takes seconds to do, and they can get it almost anywhere.
And I've seen this done. I've actually done it myself through a test vehicle, and those scammers can change the value of the vehicle very quickly. It can be a huge hit to your wallet, and guess what? It didn't take them much time to do it.
Yeah, less miles, fewer miles, more money.
Absolutely. A lot more money. According to Carfax, about $3,300 extra is what someone pays for an odometer that's rolled, man. And I looked at a bunch of police reports about this. And in many cases, you're talking about a vehicle that had 120, 130,000 miles on it, and they rolled it back to 20 or 30,000 miles. So not only are you paying more for the vehicle up front, but you're going to be paying more down the road because you think you have a newer vehicle and you're going to have a lot more maintenance problems down the road and possibly breakdowns because it's an older vehicle. So you pay for it more now and you pay for it more later. And if you want to resell it and somebody actually does the checks and finds out it has a tampered odometer, you're going to get less of the resale value.
I would automatically think that going to a dealership or a used car dealer would be safer than just buying it from a guy off Craigslist. Am I right?
I wouldn't buy a car off of Craigslist, and I wouldn't buy a car off of a Facebook Marketplace. You can find the problem in both cases, both dealers and individual sellers. The benefit of a dealer is if it happens to be a problem, you can there's somebody there that the authorities can go after. A lot of these cases where it's an individual, they split and you can never get back them. There's no restitution. But, of course, you need to be careful before you buy. And I bet you're going to ask me how we protect ourselves so you don't have to worry about this no matter how you buy.
How did you know, Herb?
Clairvoyant. I don't have clips from Airplane, but I do know about cars.
Surely you can't be serious.
Don't call me Shirley.
I interviewed him once when I was on KIRO TV, and he had his whoopee cushion. Leslie Neal.
We digress.
First of all, you got to make sure you get the vehicle history report. You can get Carfax. You can get AutoCheck, which is a new service from Experian or Bumper or any of the other services. Check the mileage and the maintenance on those reports and see how it compares to what's on the odometer. But clearly, these can be faked as well. They may not be reported in the system. They're not completely accurate. You got to have an independent mechanic check the car. Number one checkbook tip is have an independent mechanic check the car before you buy that vehicle. That's the only way to know if there's any problems with the vehicle, including a rolled odometer. They can plug into the port and they can see what mileage the car really has, not what's just displayed on the odometer.
What if I were to go to a website that was totally not a scam.org instead of .com? Would that also be a good place to buy a car, Herb?
Oh, Charlie. Mandy says that all the time.
I was just going to say, I say that 20 times a day.
Maybe we should check out more somewhere else. I'm trying to think, where would I want to find out more about this?
I don't know. Ask Herb.
Checkbook.org would be a good place to sell cars if we sell cars. But I want to make one important point, and I put this in the story. The time to do the check, the vehicle history check or the mechanical check is not after you buy the vehicle. In my 45 years of reporting here in Seattle, you would not believe how many people called me and said, I checked it out after I bought the vehicle and found out I had a lemon vehicle. You do this before you buy the vehicle, not after you buy the vehicle. And if someone won't let you have the vehicle checked, you walk away from the deal, even if you've gone to charliesellsusedcars.org.
Totally not a scam.net, not .com.net.
Herb, thank you very much.
Weekend, but I'm just going to go.
Oh, Charlie.
Checkbook.org. All right. Thank you, Herb. Sully, what's coming up in traffic?
Well, we're going to take a look at the one crash on our board, which is basically closed Highway 9 in Snohomish. We'll break it down next.
KIRO Newsradio, the first place you turn for the news you trust.
Renton police investigating a shooting that happened just after midnight.
Engaging conversation.
It's just indefensible. The mayor's communications team should be better.
Traffic.
A full closure now, southbound 509 at Alexander Avenue.
And your Super Bowl champion Seahawks.
Touchdown, Seahawks!
Streaming everywhere on the KIRO Newsradio app. Always here, always with you. KIRO Newsradio, 97.3 FM.
It is summertime, which means sunshine, baseball games, beach trips, hiking, fun with the family. And Brad, I'll bet it's easier to pay for with free checking from WaFd Bank.
That's right, Dave. Set your financial goals and stick to them with free checking. No minimum balances or monthly maintenance fees to worry about. Hey, you'll also get spending tools to help you stay on top of your budget. Not only is WaFd Bank rated the best bank, we have more than 200 branches to serve you across 9 western states.
And tell me more about this card control feature I've heard so much about.
Dave, you can view transactions for individual cards, set controls and alerts, and if you forget your card at the restaurant, you can instantly turn it off while you go back to get it. You'll also have access to free tools like Zelle, mobile check deposit, and when those unfortunate times happen, submit fraud disputes right inside the WaFd mobile app.
And don't forget, you can choose from some great-looking debit cards, including Seattle Kraken and Seattle Seawolves cards. So visit WaFdBank.com and open your account today. Non-sufficient funds charges may apply. Member FDIC.
Welcome to this week's Puget Sound Express Whale Report.
Naturalists from Puget Sound Express report that it's officially humpback whale season in the Salish Sea. Humpbacks were absent from our waters for nearly 100 years due to whaling. In 1997, a female humpback returned, and in 2003, she brought a calf with her, which is when she earned the name Big Mama. She has kept returning along with 8 known calves, 7 grand calves, and 4 great grand calves, and she's back this year as well. Each summer, dozens of other humpbacks return. It's become known as the Humpback Comeback. Family-run Puget Sound Express offers daily guaranteed whale watching tours departing from Edmonds, Seattle's most popular and well-reviewed whale tours. Orcas, humpbacks, gray whales, minke whales, and so much more. Don't miss out on your chance to see whales in the wild. Family-run Puget Sound Express guarantees you'll see whales or your next trip is absolutely free. Book online at PugetSoundExpress.com.
It is 8:43. Time to check traffic on the threes with Chris Sullivan.
And so far, we've been doing really well on this Getaway Friday. We haven't really started seeing the volumes building across the board. We do have one pretty significant crash up in the Snohomish area. It's basically closed, Highway 9, right at the roundabout. They're just at the north end of town. All southbound lanes are blocked. All northbound lanes are being forced to exit right to Avenue D. Don't have any details of what in terms of injuries or things, but this is really bogging us down in that little particular corner of the map. Other than that, the map looks relatively good. I mean, we have 45 minutes from Everett to Bellevue, about 40 Everett to Seattle. Federal Way to Seattle's only 40. We're under 40. Y'all up to Renton, if you can believe it. Renton to Bellevue is under a half an hour. The lake bridges are quiet. Olympia to Tacoma, no problems, and nothing from Tacoma to Olympia. If you're heading maybe over to Highway 101 to maybe get to the coast or something like that, or nothing going eastbound yet on I-90 trying to get over to Snoqualmie. So now would be a very good time to get out on the road before things start bogging down. KIRO News Radio Real-Time Traffic. I'm Chris Sullivan.
And our forecast is going to be beautiful today as we wrap up the week. Mostly sunny, 77. Tomorrow, you'll probably wake up to some clouds and sunshine in the afternoon. That'll keep us a little bit cooler, 73. Sunday, clouds will build, 70, still dry. But then Monday, big change in the forecast. Rainy, breezy, 59 the high. Right now, it's sunny and 59 in Seattle.
Well, coming up is Friday, then it's Saturday, Sunday, Monday.
What?
The Memorial Day weekend planner is coming up next on Seattle's Morning News.
You could sleep through the night without thinking twice. You could take a seat in the middle of the theater. You could drive without worry of where the next restroom is. You used to say yes, and somewhere along the way, you stopped. Not because of one big moment, because of 100 small ones. A little more urgency, one more trip to the bathroom at 2 a.m., one more mental note about where the restroom is. It happened slowly enough that it just became you. But it's not you. It's enlarged prostate, and there's a treatment called aquablation therapy, the only ultrasound-guided robotic-assisted therapy for enlarged prostate. Find an aquablation therapist near you. Call Aquablation Seattle at 206-666-2466. 206-666-2466. That's 206-666-2466. All surgical treatments carry risks, and results may vary. Side effects may include urinary symptoms, mild pain, ejaculatory dysfunction, or infection. In rare cases, complications to the urethra and rectum may occur. Aquablation therapy may not be right for everyone. Talk to your urologist to learn more. Visit aquablationseattle.com.
Healthcare costs are rising, and a major driver is hospital prices. They've increased more than 250% over the past 25 years. Families and local businesses are feeling it. At Primera Blue Cross, we're working to change that by negotiating with hospitals to secure fair, responsible prices so you can get the care you need at a cost you can afford. That's coverage that counts. Learn more at coveragethatcounts.primera.com.
Free consultations, no fee guarantees, 5-star reviews. J.P. Pendergast with Pendergast Law explains the importance of going beyond these familiar offerings.
Accident victims want an attorney, Tom, that satisfies their needs. Someone who handles those needs with the highest degree of care. Pendergast Law offers the no-fee guarantees and free consultations, but these only scratch the surface.
Okay, explain more.
We make sure that every member of our team is genuinely passionate about helping others. Customer service and communication are our top priority. It's how we take care of our clients so they always feel one step ahead of the insurance companies. Our strong reputation for high standards provides comfort and confidence when it's needed most.
Pendergast Law offers the free consultations, the no-fee guarantees, and of course, they are 5-star rated. But what really makes them different is their genuine passion for helping others. I can't recommend them enough.
If you or a loved one has been injured in a car accident, call Pendergast Law. We can help.
That's PendergastLaw.com.
Spike O'Neill here for Aegis Living. Recently, my aunt had surgery, and she was home the next day. But we weren't sure if we were ready or equipped to give the kind of care that she needed, so we called Aegis Living and asked about respite care. A short-term stay that provides 24/7 expert care, Aegis Living amenities, and peace of mind for you and your family. Go to aegisliving.com/spike and schedule a visit. It can be a much-needed break for a caregiver and a chance for you and your family to get a look and a taste of what Aegis Living offers. That's aegisliving.com/spike.
If you've been thinking about a new Subaru Outback, now is the time. Carter Subaru is Seattle's only Subaru dealership, and right now they have over 800 Subarus in stock, including the 2026 Outback with 2.9% APR. Perfect for escaping town the second the sun comes out. Carter Subaru in Ballard, Shoreline, or online at cartersubaru.com.
On approved credit, subject to vehicle insurance and availability. A documentary service fee may be added to the sale price or capitalized cost. See dealer for details. Valid through 5/31/26.
Seattle's morning news. Hear it live, stream it online, watch the show, or catch the podcast anytime. Seattle's morning news, wherever you are.
Well, it's a 50% longer weekend for a lot of us. A lot of stuff going on for Memorial Day.
A lot of people, not us.
Yeah, I said a lot of. I like to be inclusive, Amanda. We'll be here Monday.
We'll be here Monday. Well, it's time to welcome in our Paul Holden to tell us all the fun stuff happening around town for the holiday weekend. Good morning.
Good morning. I am lucky enough to be in the 50% where I get Monday.
Oh, must be nice.
Enjoy your day off.
Yeah. Just had to rub it in a little bit here. But that doesn't mean you guys can't have a bunch of fun this weekend because we got a lot of cool stuff going on. Let's dive into all the fun.
It's Friday then, it's Saturday, Sunday, what? It's Friday then,
what?
It's Saturday, Sunday, what?
Now, I need to get the inside scoop on this one because I hear this is a one that's got quite the legacy. It's one of a very long-running event here in the area. Does anyone have any stories from the Northwest Folklife Festival?
Oh, my goodness. Yeah, a few.
Yeah? that you can share?
No.
Okay.
I think Jason Rance on his website, Seattle Red, he just wrote, downtown will smell like a bong this weekend.
That's different. How?
Well, it's going to be the perfect weekend for the Northwest Folklife Festival. 3 days of music, live performances, including dancing, fashion, film, food and crafts, and a whole lot more. And I always think this is cool. Like, one of my favorite parts about this event and just stuff like this, I love a jam tent. I love a good jam session for folks.
Hacky sack is back, by the way.
I did hear about that. I can't play a lick of anything on an instrument, and I can't hacky any sax.
Do you need to bring your own bread?
Oh, yeah, that's okay. I see what you did there. Jam. Bread.
Yeah. I get it.
Okay.
That was a bad one.
You want to bring your own instrument, though, Sully, for these ones if you want to participate in the jam session.
You're right about hacky sack.
Yeah.
A bunch of high schoolers
My kids are into it.
Yeah.
What's going on? It's not the 90s.
It's back.
The 20s.
I think we're 90s, late to early 2000s. We're reaching that nostalgia cycle here.
Yeah. Also, it's foot bag. Okay, hacky sack is the brand name. Let's get it right.
Okay. This is one that my wife was.
Come on.
Carry on, Paul.
My wife was actually super excited about this one, and this one is for all the bookworms out there looking to get a head start on their summer reading list. It is the Ballard Book Crawl. This is the first time this has ever happened. So this is the inaugural Ballard Book Crawl. And so 5 bookstores in Ballard are all teaming up to do special offers, events, including book bedazzling and live reading as well. And my wife said there'll also be some drink specials as well for some of these establishments. They sell drinks in addition.
Whenever I'm book bedazzling, I mean, it's needed.
You can do the cocktails in canvas. So bedazzle and beer. How about that?
Okay. We can work this.
Now you got
workshop
Sully's attention. See, now we're talking about it. That's going on throughout the weekend, actually starting today. Same with Northwest Folklife Festival. Both of those events starting today, running through the weekend. Free to attend the Folklife Festival, and there's a whole passport program and a whole bunch of cool stuff that you can do at the Ballard Book Crawl. I got the full list of all the bookstores available at mynorthwest.com. And I believe we dove into this a little little bit earlier, but opening weekend of Wild Waves is the final 50th season here. They just wanted to, they let me know after we did that interview that they're actually offering one of their lowest admissions ever for active and retired military and their guests, just $30 to get into the park this weekend. So if you want to take advantage of that, that's going on. And speaking of Memorial Day, there's going to be a bunch of Memorial Day celebrations. I got a full list of available there with links on mynorthwest.com, but there is one coming up tomorrow from 9 to noon at the Washington Memorial Park. Flags are going to be placed on the final resting places of all the veterans in the park. They are open to volunteers. They just ask that you reach out ahead of time. Bonnie Watson is putting that on. You can look up on their website or, of course, details at mynorthwest.com. And this one I've brought up a couple of times, and everyone remembers the breaking, right, from the Olympics, the dance competition.
Oh, sure,
It's
yeah.
breakdance. It's
you can call
officially
it that.
breaking. Well, it was just the Australian delegate that wasn't was it Ray Gunn, right? That was, I think, her name. But you can see the best dancers in the world here in Seattle for Massive Monkeys Day. This is the 27th annual dance party, but it's also a big dance competition, especially highlighting the art of breaking. That's going on at the Neptune Theater starting tomorrow.
I believe it's Break In and then Break In 2, Electric Boogaloo.
Yeah, exactly.
But how much cardboard do they
you have to
put
bring
on the
your own
ground?
pizza box is what I was going to get
I do
for 'em.
believe they lay it on the cardboard because they do 3-on-3 dance battles, and then there's big group competitions all the way down to 1v1 foot style competition. So very, very unique, very, very cool stuff. That's happening at the Neptune Theater this weekend.
Why do they call it Massive Monkeys?
That's the dance troupe that puts it on. The group that puts it on,
Gotcha.
that they are the
Okay.
Massive Monkeys.
Thank
So it's
you.
Massive Monkeys Day there. More details on all that, including stuff for the birds this weekend at mynorthwest.com as well.
You guys might not know this, but I'm known for my foot style.
Oh,
I believe it.
When I'm breaking.
Hey, you better be careful. You don't want to get served.
Your body's going to break. All right. Thanks, Paul. Have a great weekend.
Of course, you guys as well.
Okay, Sully, what's going on in traffic?
Well, we're starting to clear some lanes for this crash that we had right at the roundabout, impacting both directions of Highway 9, right at the north end of Snohomish, right there at Bickford and Avenue D. So we're starting to see things get better there. We have now added a new crash on eastbound 520 getting across the lake. It's right there by Foster Island, just east of Montlake. So we're starting to see things back up towards I-5, but it's not terrible yet. It's in the right lane. That's the only hiccup on either direction on either bridge. Rest of the map looks really good. I mean, we're looking at Federal Way to Seattle at 40 minutes, 40 Puyallup up to Renton to Bellevue's 25 or less. Coming down from the north end, about 40 minutes from Everett to Seattle or Bellevue, and we really haven't started to see the getaway traffic yet. So all in all, we are in a very, very good place. KIRO Newsradio Real-Time Traffic, I'm Chris Sullivan.
Beautiful morning, beautiful day, mostly sunny, warming up to 77 for today. Overnight low around 53. Most of the holiday weekend will be nice. Tomorrow, look for clouds early on, sunshine for the afternoon, and 73. Increasing clouds throughout the day on Sunday, but Sunday will still be dry, nice, up around 70. Monday looks rainy and breezy with a high of 59. Right now in Seattle, sunshine, we've warmed up to 59 degrees.
Might as well play it one last time. Just a couple more CBS newscasts ago. Some point today, we have ABC takeover. So our thanks to the CBS network for all these years in partnership with KIRO News Radio. G and Ursula show coming up next. A popular street in Seattle will be closed to cars all weekend. They might have a permanent closure. They'll talk about why coming up on KIRO News Radio.
Here's a tale of Becky. Didn't know what to do with new meds prescribed and no real cost clue.
She squinted at prices, that can't be right. Then tapped GoodRx and saw the light.
She can get a deal, book telehealth if she feels.
Learn about those meds without any stress. That one little app does all the rest. Even my horse downloaded it. Dang, save time and money on prescriptions.
Check GoodRx. GoodRx is not insurance.
Check engine or ABS light on? Take the guesswork out of your warning lights with O'Reilly Veriscan. It's free. Ask for O'Reilly Veriscan.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Support comes from Amazon Business. Free your team from time-consuming procurement tasks. Discover smart business buying where unmatched selection meets AI-driven tools to simplify complex processes so you can focus on what matters most. Learn more at AmazonBusiness.com.
Summer's supposed to be fun. When the kids are home all day, the groceries,
They add up fast. G. Scott here with a quick heads up from Safeway. There's a program called Sunbucks that gives qualifying families $120 per child for summer groceries. Some families are signed up automatically and will get a card in the mail. Others need to apply. Take a minute to check. It could really help put food on the table for your family. Head to freesummermeals.org to find out more. That's freesummermeals.org.
Wait! Before you change the station, listen to this.
1-877 Cars for Kids. KIRS Cars for Kids. 1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Donate your car at carsforkids.org. That's cars with a K. Pickup is quick and easy. You'll also get a vacation voucher and a tax deduction.
1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Hey, it's John Curley with my friend Bob Stelton. Hey, Bob, you had a hip issue just like me. You went to see Dr. Mark Wagner at Seattle Sports Regenerative Medicine. What did he tell you?
You got a torn labrum, you got a frayed ligament, you've got arthritis developing. He said, this isn't going to fix everything, but it will go a long way. I was walking around at about an 8 pain level. I couldn't walk that far before the pain would kick in, and it was impacting my workouts and just really impacting my day-to-day stuff beyond jiu-jitsu.
So, just like me, Dr. Wagner does stem cell on your hip. How you feeling now?
I feel like I've gotten back to being who I was prior to the injuries, which was somebody who's very active, loves being out there outside when the weather's great, being on the motorcycle, sparring in jiu-jitsu, working out. I can do all of those things now.
So whether it's a shoulder, a hip, a wrist, knee, or elbow, before you choose surgery, see our friend, Dr. Wagner first. He'll tell you if stem cell is right for you. drmarkwagnermd.com. Make an appointment at drmarkwagnermd.com.
Guys, tired all the time? Gaining weight? Low drive? These aren't just signs of aging. They could be low testosterone or other underlying issues. This June for Men's Health Month, Revive Men's Health in Washington is helping men take control of their health with a free, comprehensive wellness panel. A $400 value included when starting treatment. Your panel checks key health markers, including testosterone, blood sugar, cholesterol, kidneys, liver, and thyroid, so you can finally understand what your body's been trying to tell you. Since 2011, over 120,000 men have trusted Revive to get real results. More energy, better sleep, improved mood, and confidence that shows. If something feels off, don't wait. Get answers, get a plan, and start feeling better. This offer ends June 30th. Schedule your free, comprehensive wellness panel today. Call 206-529-1111. That's 206-529-1111 or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com.
Carter Subaru is Seattle's only Subaru dealer with the largest selection of Subarus in Washington. With over 800 vehicles